Guys, it's Gilty here, and welcome back to Dead by Daylight. How y'all doing today on this marvelous Saturday afternoon? Hopefully all are doing well. What's up, Shelby? What's up, Simple? What is up, Tricks, Cassette, and more? How y'all doing today? Hopefully you all are having an amazing day. Alright, well, that being said, let's start off our day with a match of killer. Question, of course, is who do I want to start off with? Let's go with Trapper with some sloppy butcher, shall we? And go from there. A little bit of a treat today as well. At 2 p.m. CST, my team Sabletech will be playing against How Did We Get Here? Am I not playing Survivor for Sabletech? I am not. No, I am playing Killer as per usual. Is there champions today? There is indeed. There is indeed. Let's just double check something real quick. Just got a message. Alright. You're so happy today? I'm happy to hear that, Fire Gems. Happy to hear that. Double guilt today? There is indeed double guilt today. COTF at 6 o'clock, and of course our regular stream. As long as everything goes well, I should also be playing a match against How Did We Get Here? Who's broadcasting a 6 p.m. match? That would be myself, of course, as well as I believe Psycho Mantis. And then tomorrow, I believe it's going to be me and Fire Gems. As I've not heard, still trying to get the schedule together for all of the producers of the Fog. Wonder who's available next week. Ooh, got some new faces next week. Okay. So next Saturday, I have even some more new faces, which I'm excited about. Yo, what's up, Sean? How goes it? How goes it? How you doing today, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. 3 toolboxes. This seems suspect. I don't know why, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that might be 3 Commodious. I know that that's at least 1 Commodious toolbox, but yeah. Gone from 120 to 200 upload and 10 to 12 download to 927 upload, 909 download. Did your ISP just decide to give you free stuff, or did you upgrade your internet package? Are going to be streamed. We won't be able to broadcast. That would make sense. Yes, that would make sense. Right now, so Producers of the Fog has a scheduled channel in it, to where people are able to verify what dates they're available. So, obviously, Rugard will let me know when he is and when he isn't. Yeah, exactly. No, it made sense in this case to not have you there due to your community stream. But it looks like they really wanted that Hatch and Killer Shack. You've got from Comcast to AT&T Fiber. Ah, very nice, very nice. Yes, that is what that channel is for. I don't think you can access that one unless I've accidentally tagged hashtag schedule, which is not outside the realm possibility. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to access it. Technically, you shouldn't be able to see it unless you do have a modded Discord, which I know that a few people who do. I can see it's there. Better Discord. Yeah, exactly. I do remember that now, that there's modded Discord, which allows you to see all private channels, kind of defeating the purpose, but still can't access them, of course. My God. Woke up only like 45 minutes ago, roughly. So, still waking up a wee bit. Yeah, it would be a little bit broken, just a little bit. Big Sleepy, exactly. I finished up Food Wars Season 2 last night, but I'm a little bit disappointed. I can't for the life of me find Food Wars Season 3 dubbed anywhere. I don't know what's up. I found Seasons 4 and 5 on HBO Max, which are dubbed, but nowhere else has Food Wars Season 3, which is a little bit ridiculous. Woke up at 8 and I'm still tired. I feel that, yeah. I'm enjoying a weekend off from work and it feels great. I can imagine simple. And at the end of the day, having that weekend off is always good news. Fun fact, 1 week from today is the big move. Very nice, very nice. Well, that is exciting. Alright, what streak is Trapper on? That's right, Trapper's on a 0 as we speak. Well, that being said, let's even get 1 win back on Mr. Trapper Boy. I think that the perk I want on Trapper, and I'm pretty sure I actually may have gotten on him. Oh, no, I haven't. I haven't gotten the perk I want on him yet. But the perk I want on Trapper, in addition to everything else, is Starstruck. I think Starstruck might be the best perk for me, realistically speaking. Just because it will help out a lot more than a Sloppy Butcher, another gen regression, stuff like that. Let's chase Ace here real quick. Get him down as soon as possible. Let's see if he goes for the trap. He is. Perfect. Yeah, I was about to say, you're not making that, my boy. You can get that animation lock, but that's about it. Basement's down here. Let's put you into the basement. And we'll put you on back hook to start out. Let's see. Let's put a trap here. Can we have a bot commands channel? What do you mean by bot commands? Are you talking about for, whatchamacallit, COTF or something else? Want to check my rank? Oh, I see, I see. Hi there, Bill. How you doing? Don't mind me, just gonna take a quick swipe at you. I'll look into that. Yeah, that wouldn't be a horrible idea. Or at least a document demonstrating all the commands in COTF. Alright, well that works out. Looks like we're doing some basement trapper here. Alright, there's Ace. Oh, he had borrowed time. Makes sense. Okay, Ace. You're having a wee bit of trouble here. Having a wee bit of trouble. Oh, my word. Let's go for David real quick. Well, we'll leave Ace slugged out. I'd rather not eat a DS here. Wasn't Ace supposed to be lucky? You know, probably just a little. Could've sworn I just saw a survivor to my right as I passed by, but oh well. Do you have Dead Hard, David? Nope. That is a big old nope right there. Oh, that was brilliant. That's one of probably the best parts of Trapper, is watching survivors step into traps like that. It is quite funny. It's a repeat of that one Bill, seriously though. You're not wrong. Alright, Ace is back up. I guess let's reset these two. Hello? Hello? Guess the game really didn't want me to reset that trap. And yep, I just saw scratch marks over here. Let's see, there's David. Don't care about you. Hello. You want to drop down, Bill? Perfect. Isn't this the same Bill that saw Ace get trapped on this? You know, Bill, I can't pick you up there. I need you to move. I'm not gonna move from here. I hate this bug so much. It freaking sucks. Alright, well, I guess I have to leave him momentarily. I'll come back. Hopefully he moves by then. But I bet he's just going to Unbreakable out. Why no? Oh, he DC'd. That's why I couldn't pick him up. I guess that makes a little bit more sense. I was about to be a little bit peeved at that one. Because I hate when survivors get glitched like that and then just don't move. It's kind of painful. But there's gen number 2. How to win Trapper. Step 1, basement step. Trap step. Sip tea. I mean, you're not wrong, honestly. You're not wrong. It just, at the end of the day, knowing how survivors move about the map and how they're going to approach the basement, right? Those are some of the big factors. Especially on basements like that, where they're a little bit trickier to trap. Now, you saw the ace over here. I was about to say, it's not like you've gotten away. Let's get a quick hit on you. Wait, I was about to say, if you kept on looping the LT, right now I'm the only person able to create them, so it probably won't happen right away. Probably later down. On it, thank you, Frankie. I appreciate it. Let's mind game on the L. Alright, bye, Fire Gems. Enjoy your community day, and enjoy your stream. Alright, mind game myself a little bit there. He'll end up at Shack. Let's cut off this loop real quick. And... yeah, I mean, that's fine, Ace. Be my guest. Shoot up my red light, so ideally he goes left. We'll break. And perfect. That's a ton of good distance. Alright, Daisy boy. Let's put you up here. And... now we just need to find the David. With that being said, I would vote now, as the fate of the David or the Ace are currently in your hands. TV's been on a gen this entire time. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. They've worked through 2 gens during that entire fiasco. Looks like they were over here at some point. Let's put a trap right here. That way, in case they do loop middle, we'll have that trap available to us. And then let's go over to this trap and pick it up. You know, I probably will trap 2-story house. I'm doubtful that he'll come over here, but it's not outside the realm possibility. Do you want to trap the inside or the outside? I say inside. I think that would make more sense. And we can probably pick up a trap over in middle. Looks like Hatch is a no. Alright. Well, always the hard part with Mother's Dwelling is finding the godforsaken thing. Let's meander around for a bit of a trap in hand. Club was a bit lame. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully next time you go, it'll be a little bit more fun. Did your friends that you're watching over at least have fun? Hey, David boy, how goes it? Do you really think that I didn't see you there? Really now, David? Oh, yes, please. Come on, do it, do it, do it. Oh, maybe he noticed. He seemed like he's going for that window and then all of a sudden decided to veer off. Not sure he saw it through the grass or got a prompt showing the trap. Either ways, David will be going down. The fact that I asked one person was a victory in itself. Well, hey, congratulations to that. Hopefully the, just the act of asking boosted your confidence a little bit, so that's good news. As long as you, maybe it wasn't ideal, but as long as you enjoyed yourself a little bit, that's what matters in the end. Alright, alright. Not too shabby. Just the dead club, gotcha. I mean, with COVID everything, that kind of makes sense, honestly. But GG, well played to these survivors. And that there is a 1-win streak on the Trapper. Just brown toolboxes, by the way, except for that one Commodious. Fair play. Alright, and that puts Trapper back onto a 1-win streak. Would you guys like to spin the wheel of Killer, or would you guys want to play another round of the Trapper? 'Tis up to you. Alright, up, you guys are deciding on that. Yeah, I mean, I've never, well, I guess that isn't technically true. I've been to a club for some concerts. But beyond that, Yeah. I don't think many live venues for stuff like that are going to be reopening for obvious reasons. But we are spinning the wheel of killer, and once again, as a reminder, we're going to only be playing those who have below a 1 win streak, or below a 10 win streak rather. So with that being said, let's spin the wheel. Pig is on a 13. And there is Mr. Freddy. Do you guys want to play Mr. Fred Boy? Or do you guys like to spin the wheel of killer one more time? Let me also update the graphic real quick so you can see the correct win streaks. There we go. Much better. Why didn't you tell me you're an educational killer? I do a whole interview series called Mind of a Killer, where I ask killers questions to pick their brain and get helpful tips to assist other survivors to counter a killer or killer mains who need that last nudge and get a 4K. Yeah, I'd be down to do that, Cheeks Ahoy. If you do want to, whatchamacallit, if you want to DM me on Discord, I'd be more than happy to schedule some time for you. But with that being said, we did land on Mr. Freddy Krueger. Do you guys want to spin the wheel one more time? Yeah, normally I announce it whenever I get a follow. I just forgot. Yeah, I want to say, Cheeks, how did we meet? I feel like we met in a match of Dead by Daylight at some point. It's been a while, though, since our first encounter. But is a random DVD match? Okay, I think that's it, but it's been a hot minute. And after, like, let's see, on average, 4 matches an hour. What screen? Yes, I'll switch the screen since no one's spinning Freddy. Let's see, since 4 hours, or every hour's 4 matches, times 4, and then let's suggest 7 times 30. So 7 times 30. Jesus Christ. I've played around 3,400 matches since November, by that math. This makes a large world feel very small. This is very true. Not to mention the fact that Dead by Daylight's I wouldn't say it's a small community. It's not as small as, like, for example, the Titanfall community, which is really small. And I'll be fair, Titanfall, amazing game. Really love that series. Shame that it doesn't get as much notoriety as it should versus Apex Legends, for example. But with that being said, Dead by Daylight is, relatively speaking, a smaller community. Bigger than Neopets, but smaller than others? Yeah. Really that small of a community? I thought it was AAA game on a major platform. It is a AAA game, but as games get older and older, obviously the community gets smaller and smaller, especially multiplayer communities who really always go for the latest and greatest. The latest Call of Duty, the latest Apex Legends, Fortnite, PUBG, what have you, right? And because of that, it, starts to shrink and shrink. And so Titanfall has this really strange situation to where Titanfall 1 has a very devout community that's just wicked small and collected, but they are the reason why the lights are still on Titanfall 1, because there's enough server activity for the devs to actually keep it going, which is kind of an interesting thing to me. Even better yet, since the addition of one of the Titanfall characters to Apex Legends, Titanfall has actually gotten more notoriety recently from newer players, which has re-sparked interest from investors. So the hope is, from those who are fans of that, is that Titanfall 3 will eventually come out, because it wasn't exactly, whatchamacallit, isn't exactly well played anymore. Yeah, it came out in 2014, so it's been a while. Alright. But yeah, so little information on Titanfall. I know, like, 2014, like, in retrospect, doesn't seem very far away, but, like, it also just is. It's 7 years ago. I would have been 18 at that point. I think that just around that time, maybe a little bit later, I graduated. 2015? Did I graduate 2015? I don't even remember when I graduate, I'll be honest. But either ways, alright. I graduated in 2015? Okay. Yeah, because you graduated after me. You were in 2016. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, it's insane how time flies, especially after this last year. this last year both felt long and short, all in the same breath. I mean, I can't believe the fact that it's been 7 months yesterday since I started streaming full time again. I would have graduated in 2015, but due to my school's block schedule, I was able to get my credits done by December 2014. Well, that's pretty awesome. That definitely works out well. Alright, let's put that there. Put these here. Now, this map's not great for Freddy, but not horrible all the while. Where are these survivors? Ah, there we are. That's the sound I love to hear. Hi there, Nia. I appreciate the pallet, but you won't get far. Good early down, and that should also get me my teleport a little bit faster. Let's hook you. And we see... Is that a gen there? That is. Perfect. So let's head in that direction. Try and pressure that generator ASAP. So on the outside or inside? There we are. Think that is a David or an Ash. That is a David. 3 people off of gens right now based on the information, which is amazing to see. That's a David real quick. And that means that there's one person that could potentially still be on gens, which will result in a Tinker proc momentarily. I think we still have Ruin. Yep, let's swing at that. And we might as well go around here. See if he's going to go for anything. Dead hard. Yep, I knew he was holding that. Alright, let's leave him slugged real quick. Let's fake teleport for a second. Hello, Nia. How goes it? I think this is a different Nia than the first one, but we'll let that regress. That's a one-man gen after all. And David's back up, maybe an unbreakable based on the timing of that. Perfect. Gotta love it when you see it. Now, if she knows how to play this well, she could run this loop for a while. There you are, Nia. That's what I love to see. Some survivors with some brains. Let me drop that. You will not. Perfect. And you messed up, so let's put you down for now. Alright. Well, let's hook you back here. We can probably break that pallet to take our time. Never mind, I lied. There's a Tinker proc. Don't want to take my time with that. With one survivor, it is 8 seconds. With if 2 survivors, it's 8 seconds. With one, it's 16. Did she go up? She did not. Let's break this pallet, though. And let this regress for a bit. Now, David just hit a clock. Wasn't there one nearby, I'm pretty sure. Almost wish that I could see where my clock locations are, but I guess it makes sense why I can't. Well, let's break this for now. Looks like Nia's already healed by some means. Oh, I hear David. Hello there, David, my boy. Will you go for the pallet on the right? You will. It'll drop early. Pretty big fan of that. Looks like you're gonna get slugged again while I teleport back to that gen. Sorry, David, but gens come first, hooks come second. Alright, let's get this Nia, and let's put her down on the ground next. That way we can ensure that gen does not get finished. Now, she's trying to get to this vault, but I'm not gonna allow that. Want to kind of box her out there. If she made a bit more of a beeline for it, then maybe she could have. Yo, what's up, Dot Dater? Just came up with the best technique to play Deathslinger. It's simple. I drew crosshair on my monitor with washable marker, and now I don't even have to aim. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That actually is rather effective. You know, that way you don't have to worry about those iron sights on Deathslinger. I know that my monitor, as well as a lot of gaming monitors now, have the ability to put a crosshair on the screen. Yep, I was hoping that he would vault over. I thought I heard the sound of it, but I was mistaken. Let's go for Ash. Also, oh, did I lose him there? I did, didn't I? Looks like he went back here. I thought he went upstairs, but he went to the right. You heard simple? Indeed you did. Nicely done, Ash. He understands how to mind game those pallets very easily. So I do appreciate that play. But I will get a hit here. And since Ruin is still up, we're going to teleport. Ooh, someone injured as well. I would say that's probably David, who has not been hooked this entire time, mind you. If Ash is smart, he'll jump on that gen and try and keep it above 70 so I don't get another Tinker trigger. I feel like you've been here before, David, and it didn't exactly go out well for you. You saw the Dream Snare and opted against it. Perfect. Let's get you up on hook. Alright, let's actually put you on hook this time. Tinker just went off once again. One person, 16, 2 people, 8. Let's start to teleport. That was 2 people. We did hear a drop down from Nia. Now, mind you, we are still on ratio, all things considered, so I'm not too worried here. But I would have liked to have gotten that Tinker proc in time. Alright. Well, now we did see Nia back here. The scratch marks would verify that information. And she'll probably set up for the unhook momentarily. At least that'd be my guesstimation. Let's see if that is correct in that thought process. She may have jumped back here, even gone upstairs. But I'd rather not search around too long when I can pressure gen instead. Now, 2 survivors were over here based on barbecue and chili. Looks like Nia took the time to get a clock. And there's the unhook. More likely than not, they will take the time to heal underhook. So let's try and interrupt that if possible. Yep, that's exactly what they did. Perfect. Alright, David. Time to put you back up on hook next. No Tinker proc so far. Are you really gonna try and play this pallet, David? Is that really a good idea? Come on. You know you want to. Perfect. Yeah, he keeps on ending up at really, really bad tiles. Let's put you up on this hook real quick. And once again, we're going to hope and pray that it's one person, which based on barbecue it is. And, ooh, maybe not. I noticed something there. There's blood as well as scratch marks that were fresh. I mean that was 2 people at the end. We're gonna go for Nia. We know that she does not have DS based on that information. Let's cut that off. And slow her down so we catch up a little bit faster. Looks like there's the unhook, and she'll drop early for distance. And they'll probably, ooh, that's actually really rough. So having all of these pallets down actually provides enough time for her to get out and around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow up with Nia. We're gonna use Tinker to our advantage here. We have 16 seconds since it's a 1-person gen, but my undetectable stat just went out. Wait, what? Did she really jump off? Well, that's a surprise. Huh. That is quite the interesting surprise. I would not have expected that. They jumped off the gen prior to my undetectable going off. Would suggest to me a spine chill, potentially. I'm gonna teleport again. I'll double check something. Yep, that is exactly what I want to see. I saw scratch marks suggesting they're still here. But where they went, I do not know. They must have heard the teleport, then went off. Well, at the very least, we'll get it regressing below 70, so we'll keep information on it with Tinker. And we do see another Nia here. Another Tinker proc has activated, though. Our Tinker isn't ready yet. And we still have another 8 seconds, roughly, so let's chase this Nia out. And then teleport. 2 people on the gen. That's going to make my life that much more difficult. Thankfully, we're still on ratio, which is the good news. Bad news is, I'd rather have been ahead of ratio. Let's go for David real quick. Who is he on Death Hook? I think he might be, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's take it on you real quick. And David went out this way from the looks of things. So let's go for David as he's out of position. There's the Tinker proc. Alright, we're gonna fake out that one. Go for this one instead. Let's pick up David. Let's hope that they jump down off the Tinker. Based on that info, it looks like they did. So let's hook David out of the game. And that's a 10% regression there. No reason for us to fake at that point. And looks like they stepped on that. Let's get info next time they come here. Let's see if they sit on the gen. They do, and this is the injured Nia as well, based on that blood on the ground. Still have Tinker for a bit. Looks like she's going upstairs. Let's give chase. And since I hear the mode of pain... There we are, Nia. Perfect. Let's get you down and up on a hook. That will then put us into position to be ahead of ratio, even if they were to get one more gen. Oh my word. These survivors know what they're doing against Tinker at the very least, jumping on gens together like that. At the very least, this here will allow me to apply a bit more pressure of two people out of the game. Let's double check the gen. Still regressing. Good, good, good. No other Tinker procs thus far. So let's just patrol gens at this point. Now, surprisingly, the only two gens that have really been worked on is that one and that one. Which would suggest to me that Ash and the other Nia really haven't done much. Is it possible that they're going for a key escape? Yo, what's up, Candy? How goes, how goes it? I'm upset it's not your fault. I swear, man, I pressed dead hard right before you hit me, and she didn't come out. Fair play, fair play. Yeah, dead hard be like that sometimes. Dead hard be like that. That's why, personally, I really don't like dead hard. I understand the value of it, but still. But I appreciate you stopping by, saying hi. I would love to have you as part of the Guilty Ones, EJ. Are you, by chance, another streamer as well, based on the live in your name? Or is that just circumstance? My stream for COTF today, I am going to be streaming the 6 p.m. and then I'm going to be streaming over here the 2 p.m. I'm going to obviously block my perks. So something to keep in mind. Now, we did see scratch marks over here. Go inside. And then stop pretty abruptly. No lockers. Could they have gone upstairs? They did! There we are. That's what I love to see. We'll get by the dream snare, giving me some more distance. Perfect. This pallet is gone. I ain't trying to flashlight tech. Not a streamer yet. I want everything set up before I start. Fair enough. Well, if you want any tips or tricks on streaming, please don't hesitate to ask. I've been streaming for quite a while now. But hope that you're having a great day. Once again, would love to have you here as part of the Guilty Ones. I am an educational killer main, here to teach killers how to play killer and survivors how to play against killer. Alright. Well, let's put you up on hook. And I don't know if I've hooked Ash, so Nia might be dead here. I feel like I've seen Ash all of like one time. And since we did not do a poll, I was going to leave it up to the fates in order to see who finds Hatch first, but looks like that would be me. No request for dinner now. Alright, well, let's close that. Put a dream snare there. Now, keep in mind that Ash is currently awake, so if you were to step over it, I wouldn't get a noise notification nonetheless. All good, Frankie, all good. I forgot to do them as well at the beginning of the match. That is also on me. Well, that gives me all the info I need. I just need to wait and see if you'd put it, go for that. Now the question is, does he have enough time to open it? Have I been doing win streaks? Yes, that I have been doing. Looks like he fell off of it immediately after. It's very possible that he went for the other exit gate now. Well, once again, Ash, you will trigger that and I'll come back. So let's make a beeline back for this exit gate then. Based on the distance, he might get it. Nope. So let's put that there just in case. And then we can make a beeline back here. Unless he did maybe a silent open, which would make sense. But looks like he did not commit. So that will be the death of the Ash. Sorry to say, Ashy boy, but them the breaks. That's what happens when you don't take hook states for your teammates. You die a early death. Alright, where are you heading off to now, Ashy boy? Trying to get to the other exit gate, maybe? See if I'd provide you mercy? Well, that simply ain't gonna happen. Gonna go upstairs? Ah, you're gonna try for this infinite. Oh, okay. Oh, you messed up a bit. Unfortunately, I did circle the drain there. You go back up. Sure. I mean, Nancy's gonna get you one way or another. Vault. You get stunned on the drop down. Let's see a bounced landing. You do not. And where are you heading off to now? Drop pallet. And there goes Ash. Well, enjoy the chase. Wish we had more. After Mamo Cat recovers from her spit, she'll be released back into the neighborhood. She is chipped but not tipped, so if anyone came across her, there'll be a record. Well, that's good news at least. And Hensley, thank you much for the follow. Welcome to the Guilty Ones, and GG, well played to these survivors. Alright. Spine chill. That would make sense why they're jumping off those gens like that, but that there will be our third win in a row on Mr. Freddy Krueger. You guys want to play another match of the Nightmare himself? Or would you guys like to spin the wheel? Yeah, so far it sounds like things are going well, Cassette. Alright. This ground meat and biscuit recipe my mom suggested sounds really good. Ooh. Barbecue and cheese. Yeah, I'm actually, so... I decided, Frankie, I'm going to start cooking before streams on Mondays through Thursdays. On Monday, I want to try a dish with chicken. I want to test out a few things by using honey, salt, and other seasoning. Some of the honey in order to loosen up the meat, but also have the salt to try and create a nice crisp on the outside. And Motan, GG's, my friend, GG's. Thank you much for stopping by, saying hi. Would love to have you here as part of the Guilty Ones if you are interested. Did someone already spin? It says out of stock. It shouldn't say out of stock. If it does say out of stock, you might need to refresh the page. And Hensley says, let's spin the wheel. And instead of Mr. Freddy Krueger, we are going to end up on the Death Slinger. If you guys want to play Mr. Death Slinger, would you guys like to spin it once more? Right up in the meanwhile. Looks like we are going to spin again. And instead, we have not seen him in a while, but it is your man, the Doctor. Shock and Doc. We really haven't seen Doctor in a while. We've had a lot of people re-rolling. The Doctor is in and he's angry. Yes, he has realized you have not had your apple of day to keep him away. In fact, the look-see here knows you have regrets. If you guys haven't, I highly recommend checking out Crypt TV, where this skin is from. You love the Doc? The Doc's a lot of fun. Keep in mind we're using them without add-ons, of course, since we are doing our win streaks, which does mean that we don't get the benefit of the high stimulus electrode, which is a wee bit unfortunate. Also, Candy, out of curiosity, since you're here, I just want to confirm that if an instance that the match does go through, that I am killing last, correct? And thank you much for the reminder to hydrate, Hensley. Thank you. I appreciate you. Perfect. Alright. And just got confirmation that the match should be on. Guess we're having nachos tonight? Sounds like a plan to me. Alright, Doctor. Let's see what you diagnose these survivors with. I imagine death. I imagine they'll be dead on arrival. If you have any requests for groceries and greens, let me know before I do shopping. Worst comes to worst, Frankie, I might do some last-minute shopping or have it delivered before I start cooking on Monday. So I won't worry about it too much. I'll probably do some spot shopping and or send you a list for when you're done with work. Because I have some ideas that I want to try out. One thing that I used to do a lot more often in my mom's house, because I don't really follow recipes, was that I would just kind of look inside the fridge. My mom would keep a fridge stocked pretty much. She's a Jewish mother and cannot go without having enough food for an army in her house. And so I'd be able to look through the pantries, look through the fridge, and be able to kind of pick out ingredients and just make something on the fly, which more often than not turned out pretty good. I'm always reminded of my savory omelet, which was really good. I used apple butter in conjunction with the egg to make an apple butter omelet with cheese. Really, really good stuff. Would highly recommend trying it out with a little bit of cinnamon and honey. Really good omelet, really good scramble too, if you know how to make it right. But I want to start doing stuff like that again, so I'm going to start testing out a few dishes and writing down the recipes on what worked, what didn't work, and making adjustments where necessary. But but Monday, I'm thinking about testing out some different styles of whipped honey with salt to apply onto chicken to see how it interacts, because honey has an enzyme that breaks down protein. So I'm interested to see how that interacts with chicken, and with the added salt, if that will season and potentially make a nice crisp on the outside. So I'm thinking of potentially doing a pan sear into a roast for some chicken breast. So have some ideas I want to test out, and I'm gonna start doing some testing with different things based on some cooking information. Once again, still really disappointed in the fact that I can't find Food Wars Season 3 anywhere. It was a really good show. Like I said, some unnecessary fan service, though at least it was symmetrical. But it was overall pretty good, and looks like Cheryl spawned on that gen. Congratulations, Cheryl. You will be my first patient. Now, actually, it looks like there's a thing Min here as well, and Cheryl's going to be doubling back. Hello, Thingman. There's a good attempt there. I appreciate it, don't get me wrong. Looks like Cheryl's back on the gen. Or at least was momentarily before we saw her double back. There's the vault. Do you have bounce landing and or light? The answer is no. It's never a good idea to go up to a vertical location without one of those two perks on the vault like that. It just isn't. Now, they did find Ruin, but that will be the ruin of them. Though they did get a good spin-off, so congratulations, Fang Min. You're not gonna make that, though. Nicely done. Alright, Felix should have taken the body block for Cheryl there. Did not, so she will pay in kind. And let's shock out on Felix real quick, as I know he's on Fang Min. Ooh, is that both of them? That is. I'm just going to take control of pallet, so that way he drops it. It's going to be a slugfest. I swear to God, these guys are setting me up for a 4-man slug here. Let's put you on hook first. And then I will grab, whatchamacallit, Felix, since Cheryl's already up. Upsy daisy. Overall, not a bad start to the match. Of course, it could have been a little bit better if we had made sure they didn't get that first gem. Looks like Fang Min is going to be suiciding for one reason or another. I'm not entirely certain why. But I do see Cheryl here. They drop. Let's break. She'll probably vault for the unhook. Nope, looks like David's coming in instead. And she suicides. I really don't understand why, but I won't question it too much. Alright. Dave's going to Dead Hard. Let's shock him out. That'll interrupt the unhook. Aw, didn't interrupt it in time, though. That's disappointing. Well, at the very least, we'll get David down, so it will become a trade. Alright, and now we are 5 hooks versus 1 gen. Overall, a pretty good spot to be, and if Felix here was just self-carrying, that will result in him going down without a DS. So let's keep that in mind. Pallet, that's fine. Want him to take control of the pallet. Unfortunately, this isn't the type of loop that is beneficial to us, but this might work. Close enough. Well, let's chase him out. He'll probably pre-drop this, which would make a lot of sense in my opinion. Let's just break it, and then he'll vault to the right. He does not vault, surprisingly. He decides to go around, which does lose him a little bit of distance. In that scenario, I would have absolutely recommend vaulting. They vault this time. He fakes it. Nicely done, Felix. Love to see it. Let's mind game this. And very good job. He recognized the mind game and opts to leave the tile instead of playing around it, which is the right move. And we're just so close, but so far away, even with Bloodlust there. Nicely done. Overall, he's playing a really good match here. He's a very good looper and understands the nuances of surviving in a situation like this. So I think the best course of action might be for me to leave him. I'll be honest, he'll heal himself. But I need to find where Cheryl and David are. Not on that gen. What about this gen? No, not on this one either. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. Which does make for an interesting situation. That was a 10% regression. And was that Felix? That was Felix. Hey, what's up, Slobby? How goes it? How goes it? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Does he vault in? He does. And looks like that's where David and Cheryl are. Fine by me. And down goes Felix. Like I said, he did a really good job with that entire chase. Just taking a break from DBD. Fair play, fair play. I do see David and Cheryl here. He was really hoping that I'd go for that pallet. Not going to happen. So let's see. Is he going to be on this corner for the unhook? Looks like no, he did not set up for it. Instead, I hear footsteps from the Cheryl, I believe. As well shock them real quick. And then go for Cheryl here. Good vault, let's break. Then bullying killers. Sounds like you've been having a fun time. Let's hit Cheryl here. You excited for the new update? I know I am. Looking forward to playing Nemesis. Alright, she's out in a corner, so let's break this. And give her some chase. Yeah, it comes out in, what, 3 days, if I'm not mistaken? Perfect. And I know when rank reset's gonna start taking us back to rank 20. Whenever they decide to implement MMR. So basically they will make an announcement early next week about the testing that happened this week. That should give us some more information overall. Yeah, I'm interested if they tweaked him as well. I know the biggest complaint, of course, was the amount of time it took to get him to tier 3. But besides that, I don't know. It's a good question. Alright, shocking David will put him into tier 3 as we speak. Honestly, normally I'd want to pop that gen before chasing, but let's chase him first and then down him. Alright, David, me boy. Let's see how you play this. We'll cut off a bit of distance here. And he does have a pallet that's already downed over in this direction. Let's keep that in mind. He doubles back. Yep. There we are, and that won't matter much. Let's pick you up. I should probably break that pallet, honestly, but c'est la vie. Let's hook and make our way back to that gen that we did not pop earlier. If they're on comms, I'm sure that gen will pop off momentarily. If they are not, that should give me the time I need. Still waiting on my static blast to come back up, otherwise I'd use it here. But does look like we'll get the pop. Perfect. There's the unhook on David, who will need to snap out before too long. And I don't believe either one of these gens has really been worked on, so let's check this one. Based on the apparition that just spawned, they would be over here on this gen. Oh, hi, David. Well, ain't that unfortunate timing? You ran right into me. Well, let's suggest that he touched the gen. So let's rehook you, potentially. Now, either he touched a gen and deactivated DS, or he just doesn't have it. One way or another, he is now dead. Unfortunate placement. Honestly, that's kind of strange that he didn't respect the tear radius. I wonder why. Alright, well, we have Cheryl on tier 2, Felix on tier 1. Both those gens still regressing based on surveillance. And a repressed alliance on Cheryl. I mean, honestly, I don't think that was the right play there. I think that she did mess up a little, as it's not... I don't have pop in hand, not that she doesn't know that. Not to mention, it's not really what I would refer to as a poppable gen. It's not on 3 sil, it's not on 2 sil. I don't think there's much of a reason to delay yourself on that chase, just to apply repressed alliance, honestly. Now, she could go for the vault. She does. And... will in turn go down. Alright. Is Cheryl dead? Or is Felix dead on hook now? That I do not know. Let us find out. Alright, looks like it is Felix who should be on this gen here. Now, he did touch it. I don't know if surveillance has changed at all, but I think it might have, as that gen is fully regressed, but it showed yellow for some reason. Kind of odd. Well, might as well pop this, get it regressing. And I guess now we just wait for Felix to see what he does. He does go for the unhook. And so we'll go for Felix if we see him. I do see Shell to the right, and I see Felix in the tile. There he is. I take it he wanted aggro based on that, but one never knows. Let's go up the hill, see where he's going, as well as cut off a bit of distance. He's going to vault out, and he does have a pallet here that's already down, but doesn't go for it. Instead puts himself into a dead zone. I don't know what the play was, though I do suppose you were able to successfully dodge me. And then immediately get grabbed off a gem. I don't know what just happened there, but sure. Maybe he's trying to do like a gen tech or something, of trying to vacuum to the gen to avoid getting hit, possibly. That'd be my only thought process, but either way, it didn't exactly work out all too well. Well, we saw a noise notification over here. Let's shock out, try and find Cheryl. Is there a possibility? There was, but no dice. And what are the results of the hook or the hatch? As we did seem to find hatch. Alright, and the results are hook. Alright, Cheryl, my girl. Let's see, you're on tier 2. One more tier, result in tier 3. Can't get a good line of sight on that execute, Jesus. That is atrocious, to say the least. And let's see if she's on this execute. She is, but will not make it in time. Sorry to say, Cheryl, but them the breaks. The guilty ones have spoken, and they seek your death. The real question is, do I have a hook in range of the down, which I do think I have right here, thankfully. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Perfect, perfect. And that will be that. Putting another win on the Doctor for a 3rd win in a row. Not too bad. I mean, honestly, the early suicide honestly didn't help them, but beside that, not a bad match. But GG, well played to the survivors. All right. Well, that being said, we should be coming up to our match with How Did We Get Here versus Sample Text. We just take a look and double check. I also have a few other messages that I need to respond to real quick. Sorry, there's people asking me questions regarding COTF stuff. All right. Everything seems to be good for COTF. Just need to check on a few things. I got a few pings here and there. Also, Frankie, don't speak for me. I just saw your response to Jazzy. It's not that they can't. It's that I would be preferred not to. I can't force people not to stream. Alright, there we go. Well, that being said, should be good to go. Let me just double check with Domo if he's going to be streaming. And let me just respond to one more message and should be good. Apologies for the quick delay. No, I said ideally, if the match is being streamed on COTF, that no one else would stream, but I can't force people not to. It's not as if they're on their contract or anything like that, so... Also, as far as who's streaming your match, Kieran, there might not be anyone. Domo might have been, but if he's not available, then no one will be streaming, and instead Techno will just be spectating the match. Of course, I'll be streaming my killer match, but that's about it. So, something to keep in mind there. Let's see. Alright, so I think that should be good. Theoretically, I guess I could stream the match. You know what, let's do that. Why the hell not? Let's double check one more notification. And alright, I think we're good now. Sorry, just had like all the notifications go off. I want to make sure I got to them before the match started. I could theoretically stream the match on my end and just kind of do an impromptu one. So, you know what? Screw it. Why the hell not? Yep, that's fine, Frankie. If you could also do me a favor and turn down the temp to 70, unless you get too cold, that'd be appreciated. Alright. Well, let me make that announcement in producers. And let me take a look of who is live. They're in lobby. So if I do that, I need to get Techno. Techno join the live VC. Let's do that. I'm currently muted and deafened. That's fine. Join the party. The party's private. Kieran's inviting me. So I guess I'll stream this live. I'll have to set up a form of perk cover, I do suppose. Let's see. For those who don't know, if you want spectate, I'll invite you in a sec. Thank you. Do we kill first? I believe it goes sample text into how do we get here, sample text. Yes. As I'll be killing last. I invited their captain on Steam, but they haven't accepted yet. You'll need to invite them? Alright, sounds good. Let me invite Giraffe, Hammy, Rag, and I don't know if there's anyone else. Alright, perfect. I think I got everyone here. And did I update my doctor streak? I did not. Let me update that real quick before I do forget. And for those who are just joining, I'm going to be streaming our match of sample text versus how did we get here. Let's grab my Twitch channel real quick. Why did I see myself? Oh, because I unmuted my own tab. Whoopsie. And Iverson. Okay, that's just a response there. We should be good. And let me then share my screen for Techno when Techno eventually joins. And I just need one more thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find a perk cover. I think Peter sent me one. Yes, he did. So let me grab the original. Hopefully that should work. I hope that's a... whatchamacallit? Oh, I don't think it is. I think that's a black box. Oopsie. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hold on 1 second, let me find out. Put Karen Kane's cam over the perks. And are you joining? No, I'm gonna be joining Techno. Join the live chat that is in Producers of the Fog. You can watch my screen that way. Through Producers of the Fog in live channel. Alright, and as trying to get a perk cover. Otherwise, I can just put my my screen over it, or my camera over it. Worst comes to worst. Let's see. Image, browse, desktop. Is it? No, it is not. Oh, unfortunate. Peter kind of messed up on that one. So I'll have to let him know about that. Alright, well I do suppose what I can do... I guess I could use that, theoretically speaking. I guess it really doesn't matter too much. There's not too much information down there in that bottom corner, after all. So let's add a new source and do this. After all. Let's scale it down real quick. And I think that should be all the perks right there, roughly. It's going to be... little bit off-center, I think, but I should be able to clear it pretty quick. And Techno, let me know when you are ready. Once everything is taken care of. Oh. Alright, and just let me know when you're ready, Techno, once all the builds have been updated. Alright. Well, a little bit of an impromptu COTF stream over on my channel. Didn't have time to set up my own, I suppose. But how's everyone doing?
Builds
Hopefully
are
all
good.
are doing well. Eh?
You hear me?
I can hear you now.
Hey, all the builds are good for the survivors.
Perfect. And did we get one from the killer?
Yeah, going right now.
Perfect. Alright. Well, looks like all the survivors are ready to go and just waiting on Dragon's Wrath to confirm their perks. Once that is all set, we'll begin our first trial of the match between Sample Text and How Did We Get Here. Keep in mind, I'll also be playing after, at the end of this match, more likely than not, which should be an exciting time. But how's everyone doing today? Hopefully all are doing well.
Play can use purples, right?
Let me double check the rules. I believe that's the case, but I'll be honest, there are too many add-ons to know off the top of my head. Let's see. And the verdict on that one is Plague.
I just checked. All good.
Oh, all good? Perfect.
So I don't actually have 365. I have the student version. So I won't do live updates, but I can still do the spreadsheet.
Yep. Yeah, at the very least, you still have the developer edition of it able to update the scorecard, so that works out. Yeah, you can just send that to me via Discord, and I can just make that the live version.
Alrighty.
Alright, but everyone's good?
Yep.
Perfect. Alright, well, we are going to be starting our first trial of the match. Who's the referee y'all's match? This is Techno. Techno is one of our newer refs, replacing Shelby for the day. And we are going to be joining this match right here. I do hope that they did update the map. I didn't see it. So, fingers crossed on this one, unless we do lose a DC from the killer's side. But let's wait and see. Speaking of maps, the first map today is Cold Tower, I believe? Yeah, today is Cold Tower, followed by Rancid Abattoir. So that should be quite exciting. I want to run something by you if you're interested. Yeah, DM me when you have a chance, Synth. Over in Discord. I probably won't be able to answer it right away. And yo, what's up, love? How goes it? Let me see if I need to adjust the perk cover, potentially. Right now, it's kind of a crude one. So it's never too late to apply to be a ref for the league in case you need any extras. Nope, you can always apply. Send me the application. And then I can go from there. But we are about to jump into this match on Cold Tower. I imagine, based on Techno's inquiry, I do get a feeling that Dragon's Wrath will be bringing the Plague today. Let's wait and see, of course. Yes, no, maybe so. Depends on whether or not we'll load into the match. Perfect. And looks like we're good for the perk cover. Perfect. I love to see it. We see Rag, Giraffe, Megalol, and Dragon's Wrath with the Plague. Well, this will be interesting indeed. Finding two survivors out of the gate is going to be very strong for them, but does miss their initial vomit. I think that may have been a mistake there, where they're attempting to get a really quick vomit, but ended up missing. Now, I am surprised not to see a few different add-ons here. You normally with Plague, you usually will see the likes of Rubbing Oil as well as Vile Emetic, which does increase the amount of infectivity when you do get that. Now, we do see Ashen Apple, though, which does give Plague another pool of devotion already purged in, for lack of a better term. A little bit of a mind game here by Alex, and going for Hanny right off the bat. Now, obviously, Alex is going to have to worry about that pallet. Don't want to get too close unless you do lose your power on the Plague. But getting a nice quick hit here, and Jake is down. But I will say they did get that gen done pretty quick, which is going to apply a little bit of pressure here. So Dragon's Wrath will look to try and snowball, try and reclaim some of that pressure. Rag now is fully broken, has opted not to cleanse. That will be interesting to see what their choices are. Meg using her sprint burst in a really good time, actually. Was able to get some distance here to try and ensure not getting hit, and Dragon's Wrath is not able to get a hit here with the Vile Emetic. Or Corrupt Purge, rather. I always mix up the two every single time. The unfortunate thing about that situation there is that Megalol was on a really unsafe pallet with a low ceiling, which just meant that they are able to get hit time and time again with the Corrupt Purge. So that's some really good pressure there. Now, Hanny does cleanse prior to being broken. That's kind of an interesting thing there. I'm not sure if that is the right move, realistically speaking, as that's now allowing Dragon's Wrath to get more pressure with a Corrupt Purge later down the road. Rag kind of juking out Dragon's Wrath here, but unfortunately doubling back into him, resulting in a down on the LT wall. As I said earlier, you know, they really needed some of that early pressure to try and make up for that one gen going off, and we're starting to see it here between that Corrupt Purge. I am surprised they didn't double back to pop that gen, but might be going for the Broken Survivor over here, as they did see blood on the ground. And we do hear Meg. Looks like they are trying to cleanse. And they are able to make that work, but doing so right in front of Plague really isn't a great idea for obvious reasons. Now, I am surprised that Corrupt Purge did not hit Meg there. It looked like the pallet may have taken the hit for her, so I would say that she got pretty lucky. Yeah, that was a very lucky miss, to say the least. Yeah, the biggest thing is that I always say about Plague is like Hagging Away, to where playing against Plague is very much hit or miss. Some survivors are going to do great, some survivors are going to do horrible. And it's all based on whether or not they have the knowledge on how to play against. You know, the biggest thing is you want to utilize tight corners. You want to ensure that you're not cleansing as consistently as we might see here. I will give credit to these survivors, though. They actually are getting gens done. And not popping that gen earlier, I think really hurt Dragon's Wrath here, because we do see that it's now been finished out. So that may have been quite detrimental, to say the least. And now Dragon's Wrath kind of has fallen behind in some gen pressure here. And we'll have to make use of these Corrupt Purges to try and reclaim some of that. He is protecting a 3-gen, you're not wrong, you're not wrong. I mean, that is a big factor, there's no doubt about that. But my opinion is that, you know, on one hand, you want to protect it. On the other hand, you don't want to give up free pressure by not utilizing pop and instead going for the downs. You know, whenever pop is up, when Ruin's down, I'd say go for it if you have the ability to do so. Or as long as it's beneficial to you. So I think that, you know, Dragon's Wrath probably could have, you know, at least kept a gen here. But with 2 people on ground, I don't think it'll matter much. This will allow Dragon's Wrath to get that pressure that was needed and hopefully be able to come back. How do you spectate the killer? You can do so via the spectate mode in the Kill Your Friends. But with that being said, let's take a look at these survivors real quick. Does look like they're taking the time to cleanse and work on gens, while Dragon's Wrath is now on Ragnarok Alex. Now, Dragon's Wrath, I imagine, is going to be grabbing this Corrupt Purge. Was going to, but then saw Rag on his left, opted to go for the down instead. Let's see if maybe anything can be done to save Rag here, and does not appear to be the case. I imagine with Rag out, we'll see Plague immediately grab that Corrupt Purge and go for another hunt. Let's see where these survivors are at this point in time. And Giraffe is almost finished, but with Vanna adding an additional 8 seconds to that gen, unfortunately it would appear that Dragon's Wrath will get there first and will just barely miss that Corrupt Purge. I don't think it'll mean too much here, as Giraffe will go down quite soon after. Opting to take time and pop the gen, I think this is the right move here, especially as we did mention earlier, where they are trying to protect a 3 gen. So this does make a bit of sense. Alright. Well, they're back on ratio. Giraffe is on first hook, and Dragon's Wrath once again back on the prowl, trying to keep in their 3 gen from the looks of things. Very possibly might camp out Giraffe here as they hold on to Corrupt Purge. Now, I did see a crow go off on that hill gen, suggesting a survivor over there, and in fact, we see both survivors. Unfortunately for Dragon's Wrath, this Corrupt Purge will expire before they're able to make it. So I think popping this, infecting it, and then going back to the unhook might be the right move, as we do see Meg going for the unhook as we speak. A Corrupt Purge in hand would be a huge, huge play, as he'd be able to go for a 2-for-1 hit. Let's see if he's able to make it happen, and I think that will happen. Yeah, look at that. Hits Giraffe with the BT applied, but also hits a Megalol all the while. That's one of the strengths of the Plague, is those unsafe unhooks. One thing that survivors forget all the time is the fact that Plague can actually hit through survivors and cause collateral damage. One of the few things that really does make Plague stand out beyond the rest. Of course, Plague here is going to play a bit safe, go for the pickup on Lol first, as they recognize they do not have Decisive Strike in hand, while Giraffe might. Scammed. Yeah, there's been some interesting interactions with corners and the like here. Looks like Plague is going to opt to pressure the gen instead and chase out this last survivor. Makes a lot of sense. You know, you have one person on hook, one person on ground. You want to ensure that you can get the 4K here and close out the match. Now, Hammy did a really good job there, I will say, of utilizing Plague's POV. Much like Michael Myers, one of the things that you can use to your advantage is Plague's POV by going into them as they utilize their Corrupt Purge. Well, with that being said, we are going to see one more chase here. I've said it before, and, you know, people keep on saying that Hammy is, but I do not believe that he's AU. But I do not know. That being said, though, that was a really good dead hard on Hammy's part to try and extend chase. And we do see 2 survivors dead on hook. And with Giraffe on ground, if they are able to crawl away, there's a possibility of a hatch play being had. Oh, I hear Giraffe, but I don't know if Dragon's Wrath did. That's interesting. He's looking around. He knows that Giraffe has to be around this area and does find the slug. But with that being said, that will be the match. And a 4K for sample text. Not too shabby at all. Trying to get some extra blood points here. And, you know, just deciding to take a bit of a time to nod their head. And TX Nightwolf, thank you much for the follow. Welcome to the Guilty Ones, my friend. Very happy to have you here. For those who do not know me, I am the organizer of Champions of the Fog and one of your main commentators. But GG, well played to both sample text and How Did We Get Here. Very nice showing on both sides. I will say, How Did We Get Here did a really good job of pressuring those gens early on. It's not too bad at all. And looks like that was 54-9 for that match, so not too shabby in the slightest. Sampletex taking a very early lead. With that being said, of course, we will need to have How Do We Get Here invite me for the next match, as we're playing How Do We Get Here as Killer on Coal Tower, followed up by some matches on Rancid Abattoir. All right, all right. That being said, are we seeing Giraffe play Killer here? Now, I'll be honest, I have never seen Giraffe play Killer. For those who don't know, How Do We Get Here is, for a lack of a better term, a community team of mine. I by no means actually created it, but they are part of my community. All of them are part of the Guilty ones in some way, shape, or form. And so it's very interesting to see them play. And, you know, they definitely have utilized some of the tips and tricks that they may have picked up during my streams. I'm very interested to see how they use it here on the Killer side in comparison. Let me also invite Kieran real quick, and everyone else. I'll let you guys invite everyone from there. Yeah, the Meg did really, really well. Was dodging some really good hits. I honestly do think a little luck was involved. But at the same time, I will say that it was a pretty good match. And we saw some extended chases there due to some smart decisions utilizing POV and the like. So, very nicely done by the survivors, getting 3 gens against Plague. Not too bad, all things considered. With that being said, we do see sample text filing into the lobby. And I'll have Techno, of course, double check Survivor perks builds and the Killer build as well. Make sure everything is kosher, for a lack of a better term. Slap Kieran on hook. Do it for fun. What is Kieran, a pinata? Are they gonna drop candy there whenever you do that? Yes? Okay, Kieran is a pinata. Got it, got it, got it. I'll have to keep that in mind for future, in case I find Kieran out in the wild. Of course, at that point, I'll just be bringing a Mori. For those who don't know, if I ever find someone that I know, I tend to bring a Mori. It's, you know, just a little way to say I love you. Waiting for builds? Alright, so Techno just let me know that they're waiting for builds to be confirmed. Once that takes place, then we should be good to go. But this will be interesting. At the end of the day, you know, biggest thing, of course, is that Giraffe is going to need to get a 4K in turn before 4 gens are done to try and tie up the match here. It's a difficult task indeed, but not impossible. So I'm very curious to see what Killer they're going to be bringing, if it's going to be one of the top 8 or someone else entirely. Of course, with How Do We Get Here, I believe we saw both Demogorgon and Trapper in their first round. Oh, do you bring a Mori? I hadn't realized. I know. You need to wait for Elvin? Gotcha, gotcha, no worries. I'm special to know what Killer Geeky plays? Interesting. See, I have no clue whatsoever. So it is going to be very interesting. I was initially going to be expecting either Hammy or Ragnarok Alex to be playing Killer today. But, of course, that does not seem to be the case. Now, as much as I do like to see 3 flashlights, you know, make sure to change those tools before too long. So, we'll just be waiting here for the perks for now, and we'll go from there. Just waiting on the go-ahead from Techno, your ref today. But yeah, if you guys like this idea of streaming the 2 p.m., for those who don't know and for those who do not watch me normally, I do stream on weekends from 1 p.m. CST to 5 p.m. CST on Saturdays, and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays. So if that being said, you know, if we do enjoy this type of thing, I might decide to occasionally do this when Domo's not available to stream. I talked How Do We Get Here a lot, so I know what killers they all play. Makes sense, Trix, makes sense. We are still waiting on those builds. I imagine they'll be sending those momentarily to Techno over in their chats. And just waiting at this point in time for the go-ahead. So, on Cold Tower, what killers could we see? You know, honestly, there's lots of tiles kind of interlaced throughout the place. It's a very tight-knit map. Hey, what's up, Zach? How goes it? How goes it? And so, with that being said, obviously a shred-based killer like a Bubba. Demo, unfortunately, cannot be used here, as How Do We Get Here already did burn their demo. A Billy could be seen, though some of the small branches on Cold Tower kind of rough to maneuver around. There's one kill I'm hoping to see my best friend play. Ooh, I'm interested, Simple. But with that being said, I'm very curious to see if maybe a Bubba might be in play or a Legion. You know, somewhat of a anti-loop killer. Of course, able to wreak havoc on small maps like this. It likes boobas? I do like a booba, you're not wrong. That's why I only want to stream on COTF Twitch. So main reason being, Jazzy, is just due to the fact that I have my own streams to take care of. Just because, you know, between 1 and 5 is my time to kind of take for my own community, versus the 6 p.m., which is after my stream, to where I can then obviously host and then have a co-host along with me. Not to mention, it usually benefits everyone, as that outside of obviously EU is a good time, you know, at the end of the day when everyone's usually done with their day-to-day tasks. We are the first game and kind of nervous, not gonna lie. I'm sure you'll do fine, Zach. I'm sure you'll do fine. But we do need to pick up the pace here, as we do have another match following this one at 4 p.m. And that match, man, I kind of want to stream that match, I'm not gonna lie. It's Cerebral Assassins against, who is it against? I want to say it's against Z-Wall Gaming, it is. Yeah, so Z-Wall Gaming against Cerebral Assassins. I'm very excited for that. I have never seen Cerebral Assassins play outside of, you know, watching that one guy D. Jazzy versus Z-Wall. I don't believe Jazzy will be playing today, actually. Jazzy is currently on a 14-day cooldown period since they did leave Z-Wall Gaming for Cerebral Assassins, unfortunately. But let me just double check with Techno. Everything look good?
Waiting on Survivor builds.
Waiting on Survivor builds? Alright. Alright, still waiting on Survivor builds. Wait, please send your builds. ASAP. Alright, so looks like we have the killer build, just wait on survivors though. Maybe they're making some last minute changes. And Sean, thank you much for the tier 1 sub. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Rourke the Conqueror, how goes it, how goes it, how you doing? Yeah, so Jazzy will be on that 14-day cooldown. After that though, Jazzy will be playing on Cerebral Assassins. Some pretty exciting stuff to say the least. You know, it is sad to see Loop Artist leave, but very exciting to see Cerebral Assassins join. I actually had to make some choices on who was going to join between Cerebral Assassins, Port Mafia, and HRD, Hell-Raising Depressors. It was a tough choice, I'm not gonna lie. It was a very tough choice. Alright, I'm being told that survivors have sent their builds. Let me know if that is correct. Alright. And just waiting on the go-ahead from Techno, and we'll get the show rolling.
Yep, they're all good to go.
Thank you, thank you. Alright, looks like we're good. Ready. Well, that being said, we are going to see what killer we're going to find Giraffe playing. Like I said, they are one of my moderators on my channel here, one of the Gilty ones. So I honestly have never seen them play killer before. I think maybe once, I think I saw them play a Legion against me on a Killer Friends Saturday, one of our community events, which we'll be hosting this last Saturday of this month. But other than that, I don't think I've really seen anything else from them, so maybe we'll see a Legion. Now, of course, that is another one of their killers' favorite to play, so I'd be a little bit surprised if Giraffe were to play that over them, but one never knows. So, we won't have to wait long, though, to find out, which is quite exciting. Alright, alright. But yeah, I'll think it over whether or not I'll stream the Cerebral Assassins match. The biggest thing, I want to give myself a little bit of a break before I go into the full stream alongside Psycho Mantis tonight for the premiere match at 6 p.m. CST. Let's swap on over, and we see a pig. Very interesting stuff. We see Kieran, Elvin, LSB, and Dragon's Wrath here. Very exciting. Now, of course, this build is very familiar to me. This is, of course, one of my go-to builds for Pig. We do have the Corrupt Intervention, Ruin, Pop, and Save the Best for last. Now, of course, you know, we do see Save the Best for last here, which, to be fair, is a very good perk on Pig, though personally, when in the use of Tampered Timer, I would highly recommend using Sloppy Butcher instead, but usually that does result in a situation to where they need to try and get downs consecutively and keep them injured. Oh, it's objective. Jesus Christ, objective. I always think that it's you because of the choke me, and I don't read the next part, so apologies about that, but that is subjective. You are correct. Now, Giraffe actually could have gotten the down there, but unfortunately did opt for the mind game. And would have been really close because I do know that more often than not, Kieran does run a dead hard, but obviously not in this case. We have the whole choke me squad. I know. It always confuses me sometimes, especially because you guys change your Steam names all the time. But that's not a bad mind game. That's very reminiscent of something that I would do. Now, that was window tech, though, and I think a dead hard on top, which I'm kind of curious if Kieran did use it, and they did. This is round 2 with sample text versus how did we get here. So that was a really good play by Giraffe. That was a mind game reminiscent of what I would do on those type of loops, kind of box them out, show the red light to one side, and then double back. Giraffe did an amazing job of blocking the window, but unfortunately Kieran did end up using the dead hard to get away. I do also think that Giraffe here is committing a little bit too hard to this chase. At the same time, I can kind of understand it, as with how to get here being a newer team. Obviously, the more downs they get, the better, and might not know when to disengage. So no, Giraffe did not get window tech. Giraffe almost got window tech, checked the window, but then Kieran did dead hard through instead. So very, very interesting plays there. Great on both sides, honestly. And with that first trap on head, that does mean that Kieran could be in a little bit of danger if they do pop a gen here of Tampered Timer, as well as Crate of Gears, kind of soaking up their time. Smart play here, of course, is to have Giraffe break that door, try and reduce the value of this infinite, and that is exactly what they do. But you see an early pallet drop as well there. I'm not exactly sure why. I think they probably could have made distance there without dropping it, especially as Giraffe did go upstairs to check the gem. Now, Kieran still has their bear trap on. I'm wondering if maybe they're going for the bear trap. They are looking to do so right now. So that is kind of a smart play here, as you don't exactly want to play around Tampered Timer. It is quite a thing to play around and can be quite deadly. Now, that was a pretty good mind game there, I will say. That did allow them to get some good distance on Subjective. But I will say that Subjective held that corner, and I don't think that mind game was as effective as they hoped, as they thought they were on the wrong corner, and unfortunately will result in getting some distance there. Not to mention, but a bigger thing than just the distance is the fact that in Chase, we did not see a vault. With 2 gens done and 1 bear trap applied, let's see if Kieran's able to get this bear trap off in time. They're back on these boxes, theoretically taking 1 survivor off of this, off of these gens, but Kieran does get it off, and we still see Giraffe chasing at Shack here. I don't even think that that pallet's been dropped yet, which is a big factor. And that window's not blocked either, which means that they have not been in chase for long enough to make that work. Now, that window is finally blocked off, which means Giraffe does have free reign for this chase, but it will still be having kept in mind that that pallet is still up. And I think we'll probably see a use of that pallet here, in fact. Yep, just makes all too much sense, and I think this last gen's about to pop, as we do see a toolbox being used to crank this out. And so I think that there will result in a game, as the Jigsaw's Baptism will no longer be able to be activated. To be honest, though, I kind of wish that in Endgame, if Pig was able to apply the Jigsaw's Baptism, I think that'd be kind of cool. But unfortunately, it is not the case, and I do get a feeling that we're going to see a 4-man out, as we do see one survivor on the exit gate. I'm kind of surprised they didn't take the time to split exit gate pressure, though. So we do see Pig chasing at least one person around, trying to get a crouch hit here, but to no avail. And I don't see anyone else on any other exit gate so far, which is kind of a strange play. Nope, never mind. I do see Dragon's Wrath going for that other exit gate, trying to split the exit gate pressure. Obviously, a really good move. And looks like we do see another chase, where you do see Giraffe getting 360'd and spun a little bit. They're trying to commit to that exit gate, trying to keep the Pig's attention. But Pig doing a good job of pressuring that. Unfortunately, of course, we do note that there is another survivor on another exit gate all the while. Now, that being said, is it possible that Kieran might go down here? Pig's attention's being split, and that might give Kieran enough time to get away to the other exit gate. I think that'd be the smart play here in order to avoid a potential down. And Pig struggling to get these chases out. And Love, thank you much for the gift sub to Carl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, with that being said, we do see the other exit gate open on up, and that will result in a 4-man out. Looks like Subjective opting for Hatch instead, as we see them flashlights going off. That being said, that is a GG well played to both survivors and killer alike. I believe that there is going to be full points for the survivors, of course, with a 4-man out, and I believe only one hook for How Did We Get Here. Put in that gap in points quite large, meaning that this next match for How Did We Get Here is going to be pretty much for all.
Do you want score updates for the stream?
Yeah, if you know it off the top of your head.
104 to 13.
104 to 13. Sounds like a plan. Thank you, thank you.
No problem.
So, it is now 104 to 13 with How Do We Get Here currently fallen behind. This next match is really going to be for everything. And it looks like they might be going with another killer on the second match on Rancid Abattoir. Alright. Hammy invited me. Looks like Hammy will be the killer on this match. And I will give you a quick little sneak preview. The last killer of the day is going to be myself, in fact, which will be quite exciting. So I hope that you guys will enjoy that. Let me invite sample text in here. Been rewatching Naruto. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, for those who don't know, outside of Dead by Daylight, one of my interests, of course, is anime. Just finished up some Food Wars last night. Watched Season 2, which was quite exciting. Alright, so we're going to be heading to Cold Wind. It's going to remind them to change the map. And now we just wait on both Killer and Survivor builds alike. Any sneak peek or exclusive of who you playing as Killer? I'll let that be a surprise. Of course, those here on stream will be able to note pretty quickly, as there's no delay on this stream. And that's why I have the perk cover for now. But everyone's in lobby. I don't know if they changed the map to Rancid. Hopefully they did. And let me just check something real quick, as I did get a quick notification on Discord. I want to make sure everything's good to go. Just getting a question from a captain. Just wanted to respond to that real quick, like. Alright, and just waiting for Techno to give the go-ahead, and we should be good to go. But GG's, Giraffe, GG's. I saw a few plays that you're going for. You did well. It was a little bit clunky here and there, but honestly, you played a really good match. Saw some of the type of plays that I would make, and did a good job of dodging that window tech. Unfortunately, Kieran did dead hard, so was a very good match indeed. I think with a bit more practice, Draft, you'll get there, I promise. So GG's, my friend, GG's. You want to boop the snoot? I mean, who doesn't want to boop the snoot? It was a dead hard? Yeah, it was a dead hard. Dead hard at right 3 on the swing. It was a close one. Kieran Rat, don't bother. Alright. Let me know when you get both killer and survivor builds alike.
Killer's all good. Just waiting on survivors.
Thank you, thank you. Alright, just wait on survivor build for this moment in time. Let's remind them. Survivor builds, please. And once that is in, we'll be able to ready on up. Swift moment? Yeah, we're not doing Swift right now. Same as last time. Alright, it looks like they're doing same as last time, so if the last builds are good, we should be good to go. In that case, let's ready. So it seems that Samotech is quite confident in their abilities, as they're not going to be changing any of their builds. Meaning that if, in instance, the killer's team was being attentive to the endgame screen, of course, that they could then be able to read who has what, whether that be BT,
yeah, they said they
DS, or
swapped
so on.
their items. That's it.
Say it one more time.
They said they swapped their items around. That's it.
Gotcha, gotcha. And it looks to be the case, so with that being said, we should be ready to go. Just waiting on the survivors to ready up at this point in time. And just do me a quick favor and message how do we get here, just confirm that they know what map it is. I didn't see them change it, just want to make sure they don't get a penalty by accident. Alright, alright. Looks like we are just about ready to go. Maybe Hammy just making some last minute changes to their build. But looks like we are going to be jumping on in. Once again, this is going to be on Rancid. And I'll be very curious to see what killer Hammy brings. Of course, the Corn is going to give a huge advantage to those survivors, though there are certain killers that can make that work to their advantage based on the perks that they bring. So it'll be interesting to see if that is the case in this scenario.
He said he changed it.
Thank you, thank you.
It's Rancid, right?
It is indeed.
Okay.
Awesome. So it looks like we got confirmation on the map, and we should be good to go. Corn should be deleted. I hate it. Yeah, most killers are allergic to corn, to say the least. I was really hopeful with the rework that they would shorten the corn to the point to where killers could see over it if survivors were standing up, but much like Dead Dog Saloon, that you could crouch into the corn so you couldn't be seen. I think that would have been amazing. And like, imagine the scenario where survivors are all in corn, the killer can't see anyone because they're far out, and then all of a sudden they see survivors kind of pop out of the corn like freaking groundhogs. I think that would have been a lovely, lovely change, and changed up the dynamic so that way survivors can't simply run through the corn freely, but instead could crouch through it to get that same type of scenario. Corn over grass. Rotten Fields just a flat map of a lot of corn. Yeah, Rotten Fields is pretty atrocious. Yeah, and that's a fair point about color blindness and the lighting. It's difficult to track. I mean, it's difficult to track with, you know, without having color blindness. I can't imagine with having it with color blindness. But yeah, the dead dog bushes are something else. Just become a farmer of the corn maps, indeed. You know, just become trapper. Go through and chop it all down, right? Actually, would have been a cool interaction too. I doubt that will ever happen, like a destructible environment from Dead by Daylight. But imagine they could eventually do that if they do an updated engine to where they could potentially have the killer like chop at the corn and the corn actually falls over. That's exactly what I was just saying. Like, imagine that. That would have been quite interesting. But we are indeed on Coldwind. And let's take a look and see who the killer is, and it is a Billy. Now, this is an interesting play. Of course, Billy does have the ability to maneuver around this map quite freely. Now, I do think that they just missed someone there, as we did see... Okay. Okay. I'll stand corrected. I was going to say that Billy missed someone due to the crow, but that swing into that down, now that was something else. Not too shabby there, Hammy. Nicely done, and that is some really, really good early game pressure by Billy. Using barbecue and chili, knowing exactly where these survivors are, making great use of double boot add-ons. Now, that's not something that you see every day. Of course, the spike boots as well as the yellow boots allow you for some additional control and getting really close to that down on Kieran, but Kieran doing an amazing job of 360. So not too bad at all. And a really good start there. I do think that they just missed someone on that window, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that may have been Claudette or someone else on that window. Now, Ruin is still in play, and Hammy's trying to identify where they are. I do think that this might be a little bit of a mistake of overcommitting to these unactive gens where Corrupt Intervention is at play. And not to mention, but this area in the middle is a really bad spot for Billy, as he's not really able to maneuver all too well around those bars. We do see a vault here, and a follow-up vault might not be the right play, as that's going to give Kate here a little bit of distance to get to this vault. And I see what Hammy's attempting to do here, but it's going to result in giving a lot of pressure, and we'll have to zip on to this gen here. Will they be able to curve into it? It's close. Will they be able to finish out that gen in time? Looks like they are going to commit. And they attempt for the M1. I think threatening the M2 may have been the smarter play for a couple of reasons, especially knowing that Kieran here is a fan of Dead Hard. So, a really good start there with that first chainsaw, but we do see Hammy here losing some gen pressure, and that could be quite detrimental. And you can actually hear another survivor on the gen to the right, but Hammy not exploring there just yet. It looks like they have taken note of the Kate, but swings a little bit late and will miss their hit. Looks like they're going to fall off that gen and instead pressure some others. Not a bad move here. I'm not sure it's the right move, though. They need Ruin out. Ruin out would be a good idea, especially with Tinker in play. You know, they should be able to recognize Tinker is in play based on those last couple of gens. And Hammy, once again, getting really close to that long-range insta-down. Billy go burr. Billy does go burr. You're not wrong. That is Billy's state of existence. Just burr. Now, these tight loops here, almost impossible for Billy to play around. There are some that can work, but this one is a little bit too tight, and thus will receive that pallet in the face. With a Tinker coming up behind and middle, with two people, there's no way Billy can get to this in time. One person, nope, that's two, and that is Kieran and Kate together. Makes a whole lot of sense. I'm really surprised that Hammy has not broken that breakable wall there. Honestly, that's a really important wall to break for middle, as otherwise, theoretically speaking, these survivors can have a full infinite based on the RNG. And based on what I've seen thus far of those windows, I think that is the case. And Kieran taking a down at the pallet. That is a painful thing indeed. Well, that being said, looks like they are still roaming about. I'm kind of curious here. We do have, obviously, EU. I want to see maybe if they're feeling that ping right now. And looks like I actually can't check ping right now. Correction. Good thought that I did, but apparently only survivors and killers can. Well, let's see here. We do see another Tinker, as well as a barbecue and chili trigger. And we do see them popping over to Shaq. And Kate trying to commit to the gen, but not be able to finish it out. I imagine the person who was in Shaq will be able to finish out that gen. And you do see a second Tinker proc. Will they go for Kate? Will they go for the gen? Looks like the gen instead. And a very good down on Elvin, making great use of their info from Tinker and ensuring that the survivors were not able to get enough info. So nicely done here thus far. Really good job by Billy here, pressuring these gens appropriately. It's a very important down there, because that gen would go out, and of course, so close to being able to catch up to that Kate, and maybe trying to get another down, knowing full well that Kate's DS would be up. Making good use of some audio there, knowing Kate was on that corner. Yeah, that was a close one, and especially with those double boot add-ons, I'm pretty sure that extends your cooldown when you hit any objects, basically. So that's kind of a painful thing. You really need to make sure that you let go of your chainsaw early to avoid that type of scenario. But some good hook pressure here. I think you see Billy going back and forth between the gens that they knew were being worked on. and almost find another survivor there. Kind of getting lost in the shuffle, though, between all the noise notifications. Honestly, I think that committing to the person on Shack may have been the right move, but both gens are really well done, so it's going to be hard. Especially as we just see something. I did recognize something just now. They don't have a backup gen regression for Ruin. And so that means that all gens at this point in time are going to really, really get punished. And Hammy needs to bait out this Dead Hard and gets tossed around between the Dead Hard and a potential 316. That is a rough, rough play right there. Hammy trying to potentially utilize a little bit of railing tech there. Does not work out, though. And we do see survivors jumping off early. This would suggest that Elvin is here, based on the blood on the ground, not being Kieran, of course. I don't know if maybe it's pressure or nerves, but Hammy seems to be swinging quite early. It could also be that survivors are trying to bait out that early swing by kind of approaching Billy all the while. And I do think that Hammy is going to lose a bit of gen pressure here on these LT walls. Elvin making great use of these tiles and extending chase further and further. Unfortunately, Billy isn't really doing a great job of pressuring these by mind gaming a bit. But really great attempt on that chainsaw. Unfortunately, just coming a little bit short there. At this point in time, I do imagine 2 other survivors will be on gens. Let's take a look. Surprisingly, not the case. Only 1 survivor on a gen at this point in time. Looks like they might have been trying to set up for a flashlight save, potentially, as we did see there. A cheeky little play, to say the least. Do I think it's the right move? Probably not. Is it a move nonetheless? Absolutely. This gen just about 99, and I think this gen will be done one way or another. I don't think they have much of a way out of this one. Kieran here, take another hit. Once again, I am surprised they didn't commit to the chainsaw instead of the M1, just due to the fact that, of course, they could have gotten the down in trade of the gen. And I think the biggest thing hurting Hammy here is the fact that they're kind of all over the place as far as these gens are concerned. Every single, tinker goes off, they're kind of committing to that gen, which though is extending these generators a little bit, it is hurting them in the long run for these chases as the survivors are then able to reset, as we do see Kieran get healed in the meanwhile. So there's a kind of a ebb and flow, and it looks like Hammy is really struggling to keep up with it, kind of getting dragged out with the tide of information. Because I bet you right now that someone's going to be going for that gen as we speak. As well as another gen in the meanwhile. Always good to split gen pressure. And Kate here just trying desperately to try and extend chase as much as possible. Hammy once again jumping off and opting to go for another chase. I mean, Kieran's a hard person to chase as a person who plays against them quite often. We'll see that early pallet drop. Good dodge by Hammy, though that will still give Kieran some distance to work with. Hammy recognized that this might be a little bit of bait and heads back to the gen to see if someone's on it, and would appear to not be the case. And instead, we do see Elvin on that far gen, just cranking out. I'm sure Billy here will be getting a Tinker proc, and he does. Now, something that a lot of people might not know with Tinker, when it's one person on gen when Tinker procs, you have a total of 16 seconds to get there before the gen pops. Roughly 8 seconds after your undetectable status effect goes off. Now, if there's 2 people, you only have 8 seconds. So for any killer using Tinker, it's a bit of a decision to make on whether or not you go for it. But a beautiful, beautiful chainsaw by Billy there. Though we do see Elvin here with that firecracker in hand, maybe trying to get that firecracker save. So very smart job on Hammy to take a moment to realize, maybe I should go for the slug here instead. And a very good double down. So nicely done. Now, of course, we have seen it before. We'll see it again if a flashlight save might come in effect. Does not look to be the case, but we do see a pickup on Elvin as we speak. Let's see if they're able to get that in time. They do. That is 3 people. Of course, trying to body block against the Billy is kind of rough. We can make it work in some scenarios, but not in all. Looked like a flashlight potentially trying to blind the Billy mid-chainsaw. Kind of an interesting approach, to say the least. Hammy gaining a little bit mind game there, as they probably could have gotten that down. And a hit through the window. That is a rough one. That's a fast vault too, and still did not matter as Hammy was able to recover and get the pickup. A potential flashlight save, but a miss as that barrel did save them. Realistically speaking, Hammy could have probably played it a little bit safer there, but still was able to get the hook nonetheless. Now, realistically speaking, could they apply a little bit more pressure here? There is that potential. Could Simpletex try and get the 4-man out? Absolutely. Honestly, though, I think the smart move here for how do we get here is to simply camp the hook for the extra points. Billy did go burn. That there will be a 1K with 6 hooks for Billy. Not a bad showing. Is there a ping limit? There was barbecue. So I know that I think I talked with you guys about ping limits. And I believe the statement was that ping limits don't matter. I have gotten feedback, though, about region locking for Season 1. We will be applying a region lock there. So we'll keep that in mind. But GG's overall. Both sides playing a really good match. I do think maybe ping playing a wee bit of an issue. 347 260 ping, gotcha. Yeah. Like I said, next season we will be applying a region lock because of that.
142 to 38 now.
One more time? Sorry about that.
Score is 142 to 38 now. 142
to 38. Thank you, thank you. Have a clip for you that's dirty. All right, I'm interested in seeing it, but with that being said, we are going to reset the lobby, and it is now my time to shine as the killer. All right. Well, with that being said, let's invite all of How Did We Get Here for the last trial of this match. Cover my screen until loading? Okay. I'll switch over to the face cam for now. All right. The problem is it's going to be hard for me to switch over to the killer last moment too, isn't it? His chainsaw is bugged for us. It was silent. So that's actually not a bug. That is a new thing, that behavior change. It's a very small change that they made too, and it's kind of interesting. So I forget if it's last update or the update before, but they made a change stating, and I quote, that they changed so that when the chainsaw is active, it no longer revs. That is not a bug. That is now a feature. I noticed it before, and I checked the patch notes for that exact reason, and they did make that small thing. It was a very small change in the update, but I believe that was purposeful. So, well, revs are not silent, so when you're obviously charging up, it's not silent, but the moment that you go for that full chainsaw, it is silent. And I should probably send my build over to Techno, you know? At the end of the day, I'm still a player, so let's do that real quick. I'm going to change one thing in this build. Let's see, where is it? And of course, let's throw on you and you. I need to change the map real quick before I do forget. Don't want to do that. Don't want to be one of those people. I am the organizer, of course. And offerings are off. Perfect. Let me screenshot real quick. Am I commentating my own game? I am indeed in this case. This is actually my own stream for all intent and purpose, and I was playing in this match, so I thought, you know, since Domo's not available, I might as well stream it all. But let me message in COTF for sample text and upload. All right, I do believe that should be regulation based on my own rules. I think I would know them, though then again, there are a lot of things. I am. Nah, I'm still on sample text, but it's going to be not often that I play for obvious reasons. All right. Doesn't know when Survivor builds are ready. Should be good to go. All right. Well, you guys might get a bit of a sneak peek due to obvious reasons. You might hear some noises in the background, potentially. What's up? Oh, all good. Perfect. All right, let's give him good luck, have fun, and ready. Let's double check one more time. Rancid should be good to go. And show the screenshot you sent me. It's so funny. I'll have to check it after the match. Unfortunately, I don't have a window to show it. But with that being said, I'm quite excited for this. Did test this out with sample text yesterday and was, let's say, just a little bit nasty. Oh, well, you got a sneak peek. Oh well. I forgot that it showed who I was playing thereafter. Whoopsie. Did I just see that right? Maybe. Maybe you did. But yes, for those who may have caught that as I accidentally switched the screen a little bit early, we are going to be playing the good old Wraith. Go reverse Wraith? What, just never cloak up? No, no, no. That would be silly now, subjective. That would just be silly. It's a clown, guys. It's a, you know, it's you're right, it's a blighted clown. It's a blighted clown. Alright, though. I thought it's a nurse? Oh, really? Why not? Reverse Wraith OP? What is this, like Evan Trapper? Is that the same thing, subjective? Or BK Myers? Oh, Jesus, bring BK Myers. Well, technically, I guess you can bring Vanity Mirror and Scratch Mirror. You can't bring just Tombstone, though. I'm positive it's BK Myers. I swear to God, if someone brings BK Myers in COTF, I'll just die laughing. It'll be quite amusing, to be honest. Alright, alright. Well, for those of you who watch me in both COTF and others, as well as Vigo's Court, you guys should know what my preferred builds are. And of course, we are going to bring the good old Corrupt Intervention, Ruin, Pop, and last but not least, a little bit of surprise. I'll see if you guys can figure it out. With that being said, we are playing Zareth. Alright, let's take a look around. Crows have not been disturbed there. We do see Ruin back in our corrupted gens, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's just take a quick peek, make sure they're not on that. They are not. Thank God for that noise. And we do see a Survivor 2, in fact, on the L wall. Let's go for Jake. A nice early hit. As you can see, we're using All Seeing as well as a Swift Hunt for faster uncloak time. Personally, I believe that Swift Hunt is one of the best add-ons in the game, without question. Good Dead Hard by Hammy, though. Let's see if we can mind game him on the L wall. I think that they dive to the right a little bit there, so that should give me some good distance. No more Dead Hard in play, and a mid-vault, resulting in a down. Alright, first down, and let's see if they can recognize what's in play here. Let's bring them to this middle gen, or middle hook, rather. And dude, this should be a good one. Alright. Ooh, nicely done on that first gen, though. That seems like maybe a Prove Thyself was in play. Perfect. Find who I was looking for. Now, they do have a vault here. Let's break. And let's still give chase. I have about 15 more seconds to do what I want to do. Let's see, they're on the L wall. 7 seconds and counting. And let's see, this will unfortunately not activate the way I attend. Well, they did a good job of dodging that, I'm not gonna lie. Let's cloak up again and see if we can body block this pallet. We can indeed. Perfect. And that is Meg down now. Where'd you go, Megan? Upsy daisy. Now, could we potentially get a second activation? I think I can. It's gonna be a close one too, though. Perfect. We're gonna hook. And the salami siblings. I like it, I like it. Alright, let's go here. Hello there, Giraffe. How it goes? Let's see if you were... Perfect. Gotta love it when you see it. For those who might be questioning how I just insta-down Giraffe, I may or might not be running Starstruck Wraith today. Though no agitation this time round. Just good old Starstruck as is. Alright, let's try and find where these survivors are real quick. Do you see scratch marks over here? Let's take control of the pallet before uncloaking. And let's go for Meg again. Looks like you're heading towards Shack. Could I block off this window if the spawn is right? Looks like spawn is not right, so let's see if they have pallet. They do. Good early drop. I like it. And let's go back for middle gen for obvious reason. Glow Starstruck gets one of the newest perks though. True, true. But I think it's been well used at this point, to say the least. Hello there, everybody. How goes it? I will sing you the song of my people. Well, a good attempt at that firecracker. No dice, though. That's the T-wall and a light to boot. Now, you do have a pallet here. Let's show the red light this way. Yeah, something that maybe might double back, but no dice. Alright, let's go look up again. Check this gen. And on this gen, pretty well regressed at this point. I wonder. Yep, that's what I figured. Block the pallet. And let's go for a giraffe now. Want to apply as much pressure as I can in the meanwhile. Look up again for some additional distance. They could try and make window, but I don't think it'll be possible here. It will be a close one indeed. Alright, Starstruck is back and ready to get a gen though, so nicely done in that regard. Let's try and get to middle. This will put me back onto ratio though at the very least. Yeah, these middle hooks are going to be my favorite place to be, to say the least. That'll allow me some really good Starstruck value here. I see Jake, who should be hitting Starstruck as we speak. Let's take control of pallet. There's a good vault. Pallet is gone, mind you. And I do hear them on the gen to the right there. But I'll down Hammy first while Starstruck is activated. And then we'll head over to that gen. We do see a hook near there, so I can threaten the gen at the very least. Ooh, nicely done there, Meg. I'll get you off of that real quick. Let's see. Where might you have gone? I imagine that you're not too far away. But you are trying to drag me away so you can get that unhook and then gen. So let's go for the hit here. Try and apply some more pressure. I see Giraffe either going for the gen or the unhook. I'm not sure which. I think, honestly, trying to get this gen regressing is going to be the smart move for me. You want to drop pallet? Let's break it. Could have theoretically light burned me. Wouldn't have been a horrible move. I think healing here is a bad idea. Let's test if Rag has BT. He does. Nicely done. Good use of BT. Let's make sure that this gen's regressing in the meanwhile. We have not seen a few other survivors in a hot minute, like Giraffe here. Let's block him into the corner and go for this down. Now, they do know where Ruin is now. Keep that in mind. And let's chase you down. No pallets nearby, so this should result in a down. And, of course, Starstruck will now activate. Yo, what's up, Bucks? How goes it? How goes it? How you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Alright, Starstruck is activated. Let's see who's out and about. Giraffe is now dead on hook. There is Rag, who doesn't matter that Starstruck is applied, for obvious reason. Good attempt at a 360, but no dice. Let's pick up and hook. That'll put us 3 hooks ahead of ratio, which is where I like to be. Let's check this gen. No dice. What about middle? We have not checked that in a hot moment, honestly. Looks like they are in middle. And I see a Hammy who's injured. Let's go for Hammy then. Now, you do have a pallet in front of you, but did not go for it. You have Dead Hard. Let's remember that fact. Get that down. And for those who are new to the Guilty ones, one thing that happens quite often is my drivers like to go out. It's a little bit of a joke slash meme on my channel. And so, hence I have the no signal sign. Alright. When the drives go out, my camera freezes. But with that being said, hello, Rag. See, you're still injured. I think not. No rights for gamers, say the drivers? Pretty much. Well, let's slug out Rag, especially because you have that broken status effect. That always makes me fearful for DS, for obvious reasons. Deliverance, DS is, well, how should I say, a common combination. Let's see here. And let's continue chase. Potentially, Rag will have a Unbreakable, but I feel like they've already used it if that was the case. So let's pick you up, Megan, and go for Rag thereafter. Hatch has not spawned, so none of us have info on that. As soon as one of these two die, though, that will happen. So let's try and find Rag before they can suicide on Hook. Well, this here should result in a 4K, nonetheless. Unless Rag gets really, really lucky. Which is a major possibility, don't get me wrong. Because that chase went on for long enough for Rag to get some distance. So I have very little clue where the fresh hell he is. Did I hear someone? I did! My slug! I found you! Alright. Upsy daisy. And that will result in a 4K for the Wraith. Not too shabby. Honestly, I really do like Starstruck in comp with him. Normally, I'd be running a Nurse's Calling, but in comp, you do find heals under Hook pretty quick. So I think Starstruck is the better play. But GG, well played to how do we get here. Well played, everyone. Alright, not too bad. Well, that being said, guys, that does end today's match of How to Get Here versus Sample Text. In the end, Sample Text does come out
Final
ahead.
score is 198 to 43, if you can hear me.
Thank you, thank you. And with 198 versus 43.
Put it somewhere?
Oh, say one time.
Do you want me to let the teams know the score? Or,
nope, we should be good here. I think both teams are here, so should be good to go.
Okay.
Thank you, though. And just send me that Excel file so I can update the live one.
Will do.
Thank you. All right. Well, that being said, guys.
Did you want me to stream the second match if no one else does?
Yeah, if you have the ability to stream, go for it.
Yeah, there won't be commentary or anything, but it'll let the teams watch.
Hey, that works. Honestly, I think that's what teams want most of all. I think, you know, the benefit of me streaming my own matches, of course, is my own commentating over it. But if you're willing to stream the Cerebral Assassins versus Z-Wall Gaming, then I think people would be willing to see that.
All right, sound good.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, well, you heard it here, guys. Cerebral Assassins versus Z-Wall Gaming will be streamed by Techno, so make sure you do keep an eye out for that. But that was a really, really fun time, and also thank you much for the follow, Jungle Warwick. Thank you very much. Exactly what he said in the VC. Exactly. You know, just want to repeat that in case you guys didn't hear. But with that being said, that is a win for Sample Text. I believe that puts Sample Text's record now to 1-1. You were supposed to go easy on us. I promise no things. As Carl would say, blood for the blood gods. But thank you for the lurk for those who are now lurking. And let me quickly fix up my face cam before too long. May also keep this image here. Might as well keep the COTF perk blocker in case I do stream more of my matches. At the end of the day, I don't mind streaming my matches if I am playing for Sample Text during the day. If I'm not, then, of course, I can always pass that on to someone else. Yes, blood for the blood god. Indeed. But face cam should be good now, ideally. There we go. Very nice. Now you guys can see my bearded face. But if you guys did enjoy that style of commentating, please make sure to drop a follow. It'd be much appreciated. I am the organizer and main commentator for Champions of the Fog. So you will catch me again tonight at 6 p.m. CST, where we'll have our premiere match of, I believe it's Envy versus... Why am I blanking out on the second team? Hold on. It's Envy versus... Undying Alliance. Should be a good one indeed. And... Okay, I just saw a screenshot that Kieran sent me. It's Billy chainsawing Kieran like 10 feet away. That's quite funny. I'm not gonna lie. The week after. Since 14 days. Just need to respond to Jazzy real quick. And Techno sent me the scorecard, so I'll update the one so you guys can see it over in the scorecard on Champions of the Fog. And I think we should be good. Now, last minute. All good. Tech. No, and I took care of it. Alright, well, not too shabby. Like I said, hopefully you guys, enjoyed that match. Here to Mod and Hang, yes, we do have another hour and 30 minutes of today's stream. For those who don't know, I stream every single day, weekdays at 5 p.m. CST, Saturdays at 1 p.m. CST, and Sundays at 2 p.m. CST. So we are going to play another match of Killer. I think Simple and Carl might be joking about making a Salami Brothers team, but who knows? Maybe. Alright, sounds good, Giraffe. Well, with that being said, we are going to ready up with a match of the Doctor, unless you guys do want to spin the wheel. For those who don't know, we do spin the wheel of Killer to choose who our killers are. It is 50 channel points to get 300 by following, so you should be able to do so right now if you do follow. Otherwise, we'll be playing a match of Doc. Looks like Cayman says, no Doc. Instead, we are going to spin and land on... not Ghostface. Ghostface we're going to re-roll since we do have him above a 10 win streak as we speak. Bubba is on 23, Hags on 12, and then there's Trapper on 1. Do you guys want to play Mr. Trapper Boy? Would you guys like to spin it once more? Already up in the meanwhile. You ever play a game as Killer and felt like a god? Oh, you guys are serious? I mean, if you guys are serious, then, you know, come season 1 would be more than happy to have you here. But yeah, I've played one of those games a few times. There are a few moments where that can be a good old time. But it looks like we are going to re-roll, in fact. No Trapper. Just switch screens too. Instead, we are going to play a match of... not Twins. Still not Twins. Not Executioner. Deathslinger. We are going to play the Rootin' Tootin' Shootin' Cowboy himself. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's ready on up. Our build, of course, is good old Corrupt, Ruin, Pop, and Monitor and Abuse. Played a game of Pyramid, landed almost every shot, and everyone died at 5 gens. That sounds like those survivors had a horrible time, but sounds like a good time for you. When is the end of the first season? Let's see, I believe it's the end of July. After finals, whoever the two teams from each division with the best score will go to finals, and so that'll happen the week after the end of the regular season. Once that happens, then signups should be up that week. So I'll make an announcement in the Champions of the Fog Discord for those who are interested in making a team to join Season 1. I believe we're going to have a max amount of teams of 24. And there are at least 2, if not 3 other teams that I know of that are going to be joining, which is going to be quite exciting, to say the least. Alright, but let's ready on up, shall we? With the Deathslinger. Still need to get this Hatchet challenge. Can't get this for the life of me, can I? Alright, no tools in any of these survivors' hands. That's fine by me. Just waiting on Zitherina. I imagine maybe they're doing a last-minute tool swap, potentially. Maybe that's why they're not ready up. Either that or just taking their time, which is also fair. Now, as far as Deathslinger is concerned, right now he is on a 1-win streak, so this will be for win number 2, and no last-minute tool swaps. So they're coming empty-handed. Let's see if they do see a coin for a Punter's Instinct. No, nothing at all. I'm in a game with Steve Jobs, who's playing Steve. You know, maybe it's not Steve Jobs in the sense of Steve Jobs. Maybe it's saying that Steve's Jobs. So, you know, Steve has jobs for the killer, maybe? Maybe they're just advertising that Steve's an employer and wants to employ the killers. Maybe he wants Trapper to go hunt down some small game. Maybe get some more people to join the team. It's not outside the realm possibility. I mean, hey, if you guys are interested, I am not against that whatsoever. We already have one, what I refer to as a community team. He's wearing the Ahoy outfit. Oh, I see. So in case, in that case, he doesn't want the killers to hunt down some small game. Instead, he wants the killers to sling some ice cream. You know, maybe Deathslinger would be a good option. You know, maybe repurpose that spear gun for an ice cream gun instead. Join How to Get Here, we're clearly too cracked. Honestly, though, you guys did some really good plays. I think with some more practice, you guys might be able to get even better. Because there were moments that were really noticeable, in my opinion, that showed that you have mechanical skill necessary to play in comp. It's just about refining that even further and, you know, driving that skill home. So, I mean, I wouldn't cut you guys yourself short. I think you guys did a really good job, all things considered. My Bailey's too cracked, obviously. Yeah, I will say the ping was a little bit hard on sample text. They were running that 200 ping. But we'll have to look at that later. I just took a shower and missed it. Who won? Sample text won. I think it was like 158 to 34, something to that degree. I finished out the match with Wraith. It was a fun time. Alright, let's take a look over here. Already finding a survivor, always good news. And let's get this early hit. Perfect, perfect. Let's reload, and meanwhile, we also do see another survivor. That is Zarina. I'm still not fully sold on whether or not I want monitored abuse or save the best for last on Deathslinger, I'm not gonna lie. Let's pressure this Zarina here since she's in a corner. We'll keep the other Nia injured in the meanwhile. Let's hit you. I do see some scratches on those trees, suggesting other survivors nearby. And just didn't have enough practice. Honestly, you did well because you got the distance you needed. It was honestly just the window tech and dead hard that screwed you up. If it wasn't for that, you would have gotten that down. I'm not even gonna lie. So you did a good job. May have been able to get that shot, but I'll play a little bit more reserved here to try and ensure that we get the down. She could have a dead hard potentially. No dice. We do see Nia there. Let's go for the pickup and see where basement is. Alright. Ooh, I don't want to hook you there. That would show you where Ruin is. So I'm going to take a dangerous path and go through this pallet. If she has power struggle, I'll get punished. Did not. Thank God for that noise. And let's get that hook. 1 gen finish, so we're on a 1-for-1 ratio as we speak. And let's just check the other active gens real quick before too long. No one there, no one there. I imagine they'll go for the unhook momentarily. They do. Now, 3 out of the 4 survivors are injured, so chances are one of them might be. At least the unhooker might be. Let's find out. Now we see 1 trail of blood. Is that the unhooked or the unhooker? 'Tis the question. Well, that looks to be the unhooked, which is kind of unfortunate. I normally don't want to chase you. Let's opt to disengage. I want to check a few things. No one over here. No one over there. Nope, I stand corrected. There is a survivor over here indeed. I just barely saw that. Goes around the corner. Let's mind game. Mind game again. And do we get the hit here? Probably not. She'll drop. But honestly, one thing to note about Deathslinger, you don't want to drop the pallet while you're not injured. You want to take that hit for momentum. Otherwise, he'll just shoot you and injure you instead. He has decent anti-loop there. Not as good as Nemesis, of course, but still really good in that type of situation. Now, she's off to the races, trying to use this trees as a screen. A little bit of a good dodge there. Probably could have been a bit more patient and chased her instead of going for that. Yeah. Unfortunately, when it comes to precision-based killers, I need a little bit of a warm-up. And unfortunately, this is my first match of the day with him. Sounds like she's to the right. Going over to the pallet. I'm gonna, unfortunately, lose a gen here for this chase. I might want to forgo this for a moment here. Yep, that's exactly what I expected. The chases are going a bit too long for my liking. Now let's hit Serena. We can cut her off at this pallet. And perfect. Ooh, close one. Now we could get a cheeky shot here. No, that'll be too close. There are ways to shoot underneath the excavator to get that type of shot. Thankfully we got her on the long side. We're able to get a hit. But this means that we're currently behind ratio on a 1-for-1, meaning that we're in a really bad spot, all things considered. So we'll have to apply a bit more pressure here. I see a gen across from me being worked on as we speak. Let's pressure that real quick. That's on 2 going on 3 still. Looks like runes applied, and them going to the left-hand side. They might have recognized that I'd seen them. And in fact, that's an injured Nia, which is really good news for me. She vaults. Perfect. That long line of sight allowed me for that down, pushing back onto a 1-for-1 on gens the hooks. Alright, let's go back for that unhook. Pressure them off the heel. See if that's what they're attempting as we speak. Yep, they do. Now they could go for a body block, they opt not to. Fine by me. Let's reload and go for Nia. Now, what side is the window on? Not this side, so we'll get the hit. And next she'll vault. Does she have life is the next question. Doesn't appear it, so we're not going to reload since she lost momentum there. And she's looking for a pallet. Let's reload them. This is not a great place to be. Now she does dodge it, ends up on the long side. Let's mind game this a little bit. Yeah, she's using those little objects to her advantage. Let's try one more. I don't know how I missed that one, I'll be honest. One more time. And let's break. Good dodge. Yeah, I need to focus on flicking a little bit more, I think. Let's break again. That forces into our dead zone onto the right, which should be ideal for me. She could try and duck behind that, but now she's in a bit of an awkward position. Nicely done. Let's snapshot that, and down. I bet you, though, I'm about to lose a gen as we speak. Yep. Which means now we're still on a 1-for-1, but we're in such a position now to where we need to pretty much control gens. But they've split gens relatively well, as we see here. 2 of them are close together. The third one, on the other hand, not so much. So that's going to put us into an awkward position. Let's see. Hello there, Nia. Let's go for you. There's an unhook. We need 3 people off of gens. That's good news, at least. A little bit early there. She kind of veered a little bit wide. And is she on that corner? Yeah, she is. Look at you, you sneaky little bugger. Let's go for the down. And we need to patrol that gen on the far side, I think. That might be my saving grace if they haven't gone there. We see Feng Min, and I saw one more survivor to the left. Suggesting at least 3 people off of gens. Let's check Hill Gen as we speak. Is that you? Wow, that blue actually almost blended in to the wall. I'm not gonna lie. I almost second-guessed myself when I thought that was a survivor. Well, let's reload. Let's hoping that she'd veer right. She veered left instead. And... where did she... oh, she walked after that. Fair play. I respect that. That was almost a good fake. They did get that final gen, though. Yeah, that was on Hill. They must have committed to that one. Now, no one here. Could that mean Locker? No, means Iron Will. They Iron Willed out of that situation. Why do you want to be chased again? That's an interesting choice. You also see Nia going that direction. Let's break this. And let's see where they might have gone. Over to the exit gate. No one's here, though. Are they going to try and dive to the next one, potentially? Looking like a hope for a body block, but you guys are in a really bad position. If you were going towards the other exit gate, that's one thing. This exit gate, though, not so great. Let's fake her out and break, creating a dead zone. Good dodge, Nia. Like, I think Predator creds do. They're playing smart here. Let's see if we can get around this in time. No, you need the chains add-ons to do so. Now, she didn't vault, which does mean I do get some additional distance. The only one who can body block at this point is Zarina. Now, she'll drop this early, so let's take our time to reload. No reason not to, right? And they're healing now. If I can hit her through the window, I can get this down. Let's see here. Yep, there's Arena. They're trying for the body block now. Good dodge. We have one more reload we can do. I mean, this is going to be a 4-man out. They played a really good game. It shows that I still have a bit of work to do on Deathslinger. Try to shoot in between them for the Nia. No dice, though. But GG, well played. I'll need to get a little bit better here with Deathslinger, because the biggest problem is that those flicks out really hurt me. And I don't know how to try and get better angles on them, so nicely done to these survivors. That will mean that we lose our win streak on the Deathslinger. Putting back to a 0. Not too upset about that, of course, since he is on a 1 as we speak. Down a 0, of course. But do you guys want to spin the Wheel of Killer, or do you guys like to play another match of the rootin' tootin' shootin' cowboy himself? 'Tis up to you. But already up in the meanwhile. And let you guys decide. The thing about Monitoring Abuse is the fact that it does help us catch up to the survivor earlier. The downside of it is that outside of chase, it doesn't really get us much value. So maybe save is the right move at this current moment in time. Yeah. I mean, 24 meters isn't bad. It means they only have roughly 6 meters to react. So we'll go save for now. I think that might be the right move on pubs, to be honest. Well, with that being said, we are spinning the wheel, and we have landed on the Oni. Do you guys want to play Oni Boy? Already up in the meanwhile. Oni right now is on a 1 win streak as we speak. So this will be for win number 2. Alright, definitely need to make sure that I get some food into me before Chambers of Fog. I'm getting quite hungry. Looks like Simple says, no Angry Man. Instead, we're going to spin and land on Mr. Freddy Krueger, who is right now on a 3 win streak. This will be for win number 4. Alright. Well, let's see. Do we have any blood point offerings? We do. Let's throw that on for some additional benefit. Because we almost have the Trapper's build finished. And then I need for Nemesis to come out to get Trickster's build finished. I'm thinking that on Trickster, Eruption might be a good choice, to be honest. Because I don't think he really benefits from Ruin all too much. I think him and Huntress are good potential Eruption targets. Nemesis 2, theoretically speaking, since most of the time you do M2 survivors. Yeah, Eruption will be interesting. I think Eruption mixed with Pop might be a very, very good combination for any killer that can consistently down people with their M2. Even Demogorgon, actually, now I think about it, could be a play. Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Demogorgon for Eruption. That's interesting. Because normally, with State of Best for Last, I would only M1. But theoretically speaking, I could M1 into an M2 consistently to not proc Eruption. And if that becomes the case, that means I can stack Eruption triggers as much as I want. The cool thing about Eruption, its floor is better than, or lower than Surge, right, at 6% regression. Its ceiling, though, is as high, if not theoretically higher than Pop. Because theoretically speaking, you could Eruption all 7 gens, resulting in a 42% regression across those generators. Not including, theoretically speaking, a 25% regression using Pop in addition to, making a total of, what would it be at that point? A 67% regression, theoretically speaking. Now, of course, that is freaking Christmas Dreamland thoughts right there, let's be honest. At the same time, though, a more realistic thing is that you could, at the very least, hit 3 gens. And 3 gens will result in an 18% regression on top of your Pop, resulting in a total of a 33% regression. Add Surge on 3 gens. Yeah, Surge on 3 gens is 24. The problem is that you don't have control over it. As much as I love Surge in theory in combination with Ruin, as you start to look at it on certain maps, of course, it becomes less and less useful. It's not as consistent, and that's the biggest thing about Surge that I don't like. On certain maps like Coal Tower, for example, where it's all jam-packed in there, or Midwich. Oh my god, Midwich Surge, freaking obscene. It's a great perk, because it's about a 66 square tile map if you don't include the vertical floors, meaning that on average, you should hit between 2 to 3 gens with Surge on Midwich. Similar thing with Coal Tower being a very small map. Of course, you do have your 3 gens that if you work around, Surge can get some absurd value. But for the most part, on larger maps like Coldwind, Autohaven, Mother's Dwelling, and the like, Surge gets so little value, and you're kind of just scraping by on trying to get that. Whereas Eruption, that should be good on almost any map, as long as you're bopping and popping gens. And so that's a really, really important thing to keep in mind. So I think Eruption could theoretically be seen played on the likes of Huntress, on the likes of Trickster, on the likes of Nemesis. Even Demogorgon theoretically could see it be played. So I do find that interesting, to say the least. Did I see a survivor? No. But I do hear a gen. Hi, Megan. How goes it? Don't mind me, just gonna whack you, put you to sleep real quick. You want a pallet camp. Is that a really good idea, Meg? Is that really a good idea? Answer, no. Don't pallet camp. Maybe replacing Surge with Corrupt is a bit too much. Or I mean, replacing Corrupt with Surge? Yeah, for the most part, I think the biggest thing about Corrupt, of course, is the fact that it's good on any map. And I really do mean that. It is good on any map. Big or small, you are getting early game gen pressure because of it. So honestly, I personally believe that Corrupt is most times a staple for every killer out there, without a doubt in my mind. At the end of the day, I will say there are certain situations like Legion recently, I actually have been replacing Corrupt Intervention. It's not irreplaceable, but it's, you know, something that you definitely want to make sure that you're getting the right value out of it if you are going to replace it. And in my opinion, Legion with Disco plus Thana, really, really good. Drop it. There we go. Let's break that and get another hook. Upsy daisy. Now, I did hear a survivor right behind me, which was interesting. It was an injured survivor too, so they didn't heal too far away. Very peculiar. Let's hook and look around for our barbecue target. Oh, 1, 2, and 3. Very nicely done. You love to see it. That is 4 people off of gens as we speak. Hello there, Claudie. Don't mind me, just gonna whack you real quick. Looks like they may have taken time to wake each other up, which is smart against him. Especially as I'm not running any additional add-ons, meaning that my recharge rate is pretty slow. Down you go, Claude. Not a safe pallet to loop around, unfortunately. I may have heard footsteps going for that pallet save. Think Stelly should have a built-in VT. I can see where you're going for that, but that's why a lot of people pair Deli with DS, of course. That way, as long as you are broken and unable to get healed, you have DS in hand. Lest, of course, you know, touch a gen or try and self-heal later down the road. Let's down Nia. Put you up on hook. But I can see the argument, absolutely. It's definitely a new thought. There's also the argument that you should be able to apply BT on yourself. That instead of when you unhook, that you get, or when you unhook someone with BT, that person gets the effect. That when someone unhooks you and you use BT, that you get the effect. There is the argument for that, though that could result in situations where, you know, you're the only person getting that BT trigger versus, you know, theoretically 3 other people, right? And these guys are hyper aggressive on these unhooks. It is a huge mistake and will result in them getting killed quite easily. Well, let's take a look. So maybe there could be an argument in Matrix that if you are using Deli and using BT in conjunction, then since you technically unhooked yourself, that you get BT. I could see that argument. Good dead hard. Then wasn't good enough though. Maybe that would be a cool thing. I could see that coming in play. So if you Kobe or Deli, that you get a BT trigger. I mean, that would really strengthen that build a whole lot. And it would make it even stronger than it already is. Which might not be a bad thing, might not be a good thing. It is a bit of a glass cannon build, because you are really reliant on getting that first unhook. It's why in many cases you'll see teammates obviously going for body blocks in an early match when Deli's in play. Now, are you taking time to wake up, I take it? Can't wake up if you're already asleep. Let's go for Meg, I suppose. Oh, Megan. You have a pallet while you drop it. Oh, Megan, you are such a cutie. You understand that this pallet is so unsafe, right? Alright. What the hell? That was a strange one. Once again, you guys understand how unsafe this pallet is, right? Criminy. These survivors are rather peculiar. That being said, let's hook Megan up. And we don't see any... Claude, what are you doing, my girl? Are you serious? Once again, unsafe pallet. Stop looping it. Once you put it down, do not re-loop that pallet unless you have life. There's really no reason whatsoever to do so. It is nonsensical. This is something to keep in mind if you are playing Survivor. Just put it that way. Blood, go this way. And so many people are injured. Let's just follow this. Who dis? A Tinkerer, would you look at that? You know, don't mind if I do. Let's slug you out. You know, do I really need a slug here? Everyone's on death hook as we speak. Let's just end the match. I'll let them get a gen. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Water off my back in the end. And surprisingly, they didn't get it right away. They're actually going downstairs as we speak. So let's chase. I believe this is Kate 2, based on the fact that the ore was hunched over, suggesting someone who was injured. Let's go for Kate. I see you walking. Fortunately, that blood's giving me way too much information. So why go over here? Maybe a head-on from Nia, potentially? Wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility, but does not appear to be the case. We went the long way for this hook. Unfortunate. But we should be fine. Alright, well, what is the result of the poll, Guilty Ones? Does this Nia receive the hook or the hatch? 'Tis up to you. As I'll break this pallet meanwhile. Hook? Alright. Well, let's try and find hatch in that case. I did not see Nia on barbecue, suggesting she was either in a locker, knowing full of the barbecue, or 40 meters away. Or inside of 40 meters, rather. There we go, that's what I was looking to try and say. So far, no info on hatch. Have not heard it. Nothing here either. Is it an upside down? Would not appear to be the case. And Nia does find it. Fair play, but GG, well played to these survivors. Alright, and that there will be our 4th win in a row on Mr. Freddy Krueger. Not too shabby. With that being said, do you guys want to play a match of Freddy, or do you guys like to spin the wheel? Already up in the meanwhile. Looks like Draft says, no more nightmares for me. I'm not a fan of playing jump rope. Instead, we'll spin the wheel, and we have landed on the angry man himself, the Oni. Do you guys want to play Oni? Or would you guys like to spin the wheel of Killer again, if, in an instance, that the wheel is up in 2 minutes? If we don't get into the match before then, that is, I suppose. Alright, alright. Oni right now is on a 1-win streak, so this will be for win number 2. Oh my word. I need to get some food soon. I am starving. Let's ready on up. We see 1 toolbox, no med kits. That's good to see. Hopefully that toolbox does not have a brand new part, of course. And we'll go from there. Let's message Frankie real quick. Who do we invite for when the game is ready? Sorry, let me just respond to this real quick. Alright, just had to respond to something real quick. Making sure everything's good to go for COTF. And Cerebral Assassins is getting ready. Perfect. Alright, that should be all the information I need to provide before we go into next match. Should I bring pork chops? Yes, if you don't mind, Frankie, I would much appreciate some food. I am a wee bit peckish. All I've had today is a, whatchamacallit, yogurt. There we go. Those are words. Yeah, so I'm trying to think for my dish on Monday what I want to make. I want to do chicken with chicken breast or cutlets. I want to do a whipped honey and salt rub with some additional seasoning. Trying to think of what would go in well with that. I'm gonna think about it some more, Frankie, and I'll either text you where you can get them the day of, or where I can always order them if you want, one way or another. Didn't do groceries, so we'll figure it out. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I want to do whipped honey with salt and spices mixed in. But we are on the Sheltered Woods. You're tired? Do you want to order in tonight? I know we said that Sunday would be our order-in day. But if you want to order in tonight, we can. Just make the decision sooner rather than later. Let's take a look in a book. And there we go. That's what I like to see. Based on her not running, I would suggest that maybe a sprint burst is in order. Okay. Can I just point out how far away I was from that pallet? Like, I literally stood still, and somehow I still took that pallet hit. Yeah, I mean, we have leftovers for lunch, but not for dinner necessarily. Alright, there is Infectious Fright activating. Good to note. So they're over in this direction. Maybe they're waiting out Corrupt Intervention, based on that info. They could be on this pallet, based on the directionality of the Infectious Fright. They also may have left. You have Impossible Meat in the fridge? Fair enough, fair enough. 10% regression from David. Perfect. Let's hit you. Let's make sure that Jen doesn't get finished, shall we? Scratch marks go out towards the unhook. Perfect timing. And we should be able to get a few more blood orbs here. Hi there, Felix, me boy. I hope you don't mind if I, go and rage about here. Want to drop it? Be my guest. You even leave the tile without really looping it. No, you didn't. You faked that out pretty well. Perfect. Well, let's get you up on my shoulder so we can save some more blood. And we'll continue to pressure this gen since the one closest to being finished. Looks like some blood orbs over here. That's not Felix's, suggesting it's another survivor's. Scratch marks over here, and then we did see Jake as well. Or was that David? Sorry, David, not Jake. We don't have a Jake in this match, we have a David. Right. Pallet. Yep, they're doing a smart job of dropping pallets early. And looks like he's going to try and bring me to Shack, potentially, or bring me over to the LT wall here. He won't get to this without taking a hit. And he goes to the right for the L wall. T wall. Doesn't make it, though. And no pallets over here, so let's box him into this corner. See if he has a dead hard, potentially. Let's see, David. There's the dead hard. Does have to be patient for it. Let's get you hooked up. And back to that gen they were working on earlier. Let's bring you to middle hook. I see scratch marks by that gen. Looks like they're working on it as we speak. Let's jump on that immediately after, get our power. Alright, looks like Feng Min jumps off the gen. And we'll go to Shack. Will she go for the vault or the pallet? Looks like she went for the pallet but didn't drop. That will result in taking a hit here and giving my power to boot. So that was a pretty bad use of that tile, I'm not gonna lie. She'll vault the T-wall. That was a quick and quiet, I believe, since I didn't get a noise notification. In addition to a life, looks like she'll go back to the T-wall. Let's push her into the L. She fakes the L, goes back to T. Doesn't make it in time, though. Now, they have finished a gen, but we're 2 gens ahead now. Or 1 gen ahead. So not the end of the world here. Let's hook you and going back to that gen that you're working on earlier. Also check some other gens in the meanwhile. That one's not being worked on. Good. I hear this gen is being worked on, and a Felix. Hello there, Felix. Well, let's drop you. Giraffe, could you do me a favor since you're an admin? Could you go into the Champions of the Fog Discord and put everyone who has a guest role for Cerebral Assassins and move them from guest to Cerebral Assassins? I may have forgotten to do that last night. That is my mistake on that. Do provide them my apologies for doing so. Alright, mind game here, and down. Let's see if you have Decisive Strike, potentially. You do. Well, that does mean that is Eden, so that's good news at least. And let's grab our power real quick. See where the fresh L they are. Scratch marks go in this direction. And they continue over to this pallet. There's David. I imagine Felix is here too, but not entirely certain of that fact. He vaults the T-wall, and we'll double back on the T. Let's mind game this. David goes down, and we do see a infectious friend behind us, as was anticipated. Perfect. And a third one as well. Oh, isn't that nice? Hello there, who is here? That's a Felix. Let's break. That'll be our last action for this wrath, so we're going to pick up instead. Hello there, Kate. Don't mind if I do. Think you're going to stream while you're going to go cook? Sounds like a fun time. Alright. Well, we do see David running. Let's go for you. I think that would be a smart play. Kind of wish we were able to get that Felix, but no dice. There's the dead hard, but no pallet here for you to really play around. And you kind of put yourself into a bit of a dead zone as we speak. 2 infectious sprites. No reason for me to slug right now, so let's pick up, hook, and I think maybe they were going for my ruin. Not happening, though. Okay, what are you doing there? We just saw you self-care, meaning that you don't have a decisive strike anymore. Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate it. And we do see scratch marks over here in the LT wall. That is a Feng Min, who I think just went into locker. Nope, she went behind it. Yeah, I didn't want to check the locker until... Thank you, Giraffe. I appreciate it. I'll double check after this match and make sure everything was done as needed. Can you do me one more favor and just message that one guy D, who should be a member of Cerebral Assassins, that they should be good to go? Touchdown you. No life for the Feng Min. And everyone's on death hook at this point in time. Alright, sounds good, Frankie. Thank you, thank you. Like I said, if you don't feel up to it, don't hesitate to let us know. Or let me know, rather. Alright, so they'll be back over by where Ruin was. Don't see anyone just yet, though I do see scratch marks on the left. I think I might see someone healing there, too. Hold up. Was that the case? Hard to say. But we definitely saw scratch marks over here, so let's go in this direction. See where there might be. There's Felix. Hello, Felix, me boy. Don't mind if I get my power off of you. Just let him know that he has all the roles necessary to be in his team-specific channels. Like I said, that's my fault for not doing so earlier. Completely forgot. I don't think everyone was in a server at that point in time when I initially had the option. He isn't in the channel that I see? Ooh. So maybe he wasn't, he didn't claim his guest role then. Alright. Well, this match is just about over. So, once I kill this last survivor, I'll let the last one escape. Since we don't have a poll up. And I'll be able to take a look at the Discord roles. Survivors, if you could present yourselves for your execution, that would be much appreciated. I do have more important to do. He has the captain role? Yes, he has the captain role. He should be captain as well as Cerebral Assassins? Yeah, so he needs both. He needs both roles. Captains get access to captain's chat, and then the Cerebral Assassins gives him access to everything else. Ooh. Close one on that. Well, you don't have a pallet here, so that will result in a down nonetheless. Thank you, thank you. Should be good now. Yeah, last minute additions like Cerebral Assassins can make things a little bit tricky. But that there will end the match, resulting in a win for the Oni. Of course, now David could potentially get the hatch, and I guess we'll let the fates decide if he survives or dies. Might as well demon dash around to try and find it. Alright, David, let's see. We'll demon dash around the map until we find it. See if you find it first. Looks like he was back there. No, he's in front of me. Oh, that's unfortunate for you. Alright. Upsy David. Where are you? There you are. And where's a hook? There it is. Well, David, you made a good attempt. With that being said, that will be 2 wins in a row on the Oni. Not too shabby. You had a lot of good early game pressure. So that helped out quite a lot. But GG, well played to these survivors. Alright, alright. Another 4K underneath Oni's belt. And you guys want to play another match of the Oni, or do you guys like to spin the wheel of killer? Let's double check the Discord. Should be good now. And Seawall Gaming should be good. Hopefully they can send their builds ASAP. And Techno is streaming. Awesome. All right. Perfect. Well, looks like everything should be good with champions. If anything else comes up, Giraffe, or I guess I should message Techno to DM me if anything else comes up. Let me message Techno. DM me if anything else comes up. And we should be good to go. All right, simple detail, let's spin the wheel. So let's do that before too long. And we have time for roughly 3 or 4 more matches. I can try and keep an eye on it if I need to. I appreciate that, Giraffe. Alright, not Hag, not Twins, not Pig, but Zadokta. If you guys want to play another match of Zadok. Let's ready up. This will be for our 4th win in a row on Doc, if so. And before I do forget, let me take some bites of my pork chop. The Italian seasoned pork chop. Make sure I leave some fatty end for the end. I don't know if everyone else has like a way they specifically eat certain things. For me, whenever I eat meat with fat on it, I always eat the fattiest end last. It's just like a thing that I do. It's always rich in flavor. It looks like we are spinning the wheel though. Let me quickly stop cutting my food so I can cancel. And we are going to land on... What is 6 p.m.? Do you need me early for anything? I don't think so. If you do want to join the live chat at 5:30, you can. But we are going to play Blight instead of the Doc. Alright. Let's ready up. I believe Blight is currently on a 1-win streak as we speak. And while we're waiting for our lobby, let me take a few bites of food, because I am famished. And thank you for a reminder to hydrate. Thank you, Giraffe. Yeah, eventually I want to go to culinary school. And not for the sake of like open up a restaurant, but just to become a better cook. It would be. I would love to do it. It's just expensive. That's the hardest part. At the end of the day, need money. Are people able to join teams, like, even after the season starts? Yep. You can be a recruit and join a team. Simple. That is an option. When you join, you'll have a 7-day cooldown period before you can play, but you can join. How do you season your ground meat, out of curiosity? I usually have some spices that I usually blend together and do a meat rub. And then usually I do a lot of braising on my meats. I like to braise quite a lot because it kind of like, it deglazes the pan, gets all those flavors back in. You do an Italian-like seasoning? Very nice. Like just straight up Italian seasoning, or... They're getting philosophical about my name? How so? I'm curious. What is guilt and why are they why are there spires of guilt? So funny thing, if you break down the root words, guilt spire, it comes down to gold-leafed or gold-plated spire, which spire can also be seen as spear, as sword, and stuff like that. I'll be showing when I get up to cook. Awesome. I look forward to it, Simple. My name actually originates from Magic the Gathering. There was a card that I used to play in a deck called Bant. It is a green, white, and blue deck from Shards of Alara. And there's a card called Gilty Avenger. That's where I took my name from. And I've had that handle on pretty much every platform since. There's a few platforms where I don't have it, unfortunately. I like maybe eventually I'll see if I can buy it from the current owner if they're not too attached. That's where I got that name. Clean my kitchen to make it look presentable. Probably not a bad idea, Simple. Probably not a bad idea. Got yours from an iPad case? Fair enough. Well, this is not a great map for Blight, to say the least. I'll have to use my ability more as a traversal and less as a chase ability. So let's start moving around, looking at these gens. Going over there. What about over here? Nope, still nothing. I had a giraffe with bow tie and big nerd / geeky glasses. Very cute. Scratch marks going into Myers' house from the looks of things. Let's vault out with. Check for window tech. No window tech. Instead, they jump down. And we slid off the railing. That sucks. I thought I caught the corner. Apparently not. Honestly, it might be best for me to simply leave that chase. Though he may have seen my ruin, potentially. Which is unfortunate. Now, I'm surprised they didn't go for that tile. That's a pretty strong tile to be on, too. Interesting. So let's bounce off of this. Bounce here. Well, I guess we'll have to fatigue here. Coincidentally enough, looks like this gen is tinkered. Hello, Dwight. How goes it? Don't mind me, just down your other friend, the Dwight. Let's step back, ensure that we don't get pallet stun there. And I think that's the only tinker proc thus far. I say as another tinker just goes off. You do realize I have tinker, right, Dwight? Are you crazy or something? I mean, it's a bold move, don't get me wrong. You're amazing at killer and all, but like rushing at House of Pain is not exactly an easy task to accomplish. No, I recognize that. I tried my best, to say the least. I just realized something. Well, that's unfortunate. That was either sabotaged or broken down. Not sure which. Oi, Whitey boy. Can you get off my totem? Thank you. I was hoping that I would be able to swing into that. But I would say that might be a saboteur or a breakdown. That's still not up even 30 seconds later. So let's hook you here. There's Tinker and House of Pain. Hey, Dwighty boy! How goes it? Let's fatigue out, as I think you're the only person down there. I only saw one person on barbecue, rather. They're gonna get, Laurie's house, no doubt about that, or Michael Myers' house. Their teammate had a power outage. Oh, shoot. Sorry, just got a little bit distracted. Only have 3 survivors at the moment. I mean, that's rough. I would say, ooh. That is a rough decision I have to make, isn't it? Let's go for Megan. H-Rap, could you do me a favor? Yeah, I was about to say, can you do me a favor and pass along a message? I would say at most 30 minutes. Because most matches should end within an hour and 30. Send it to Techno and D, because D asked me the question. I'd say 30 minutes after the start of the match, personally, because I don't want to waste people's time. Oh, Dwight. Oh, I just slid off that bench. Kitchen's clean? Well, that's exciting. Always a nice thing to have. Goes upstairs. We'll vault down. Looks like a bounced landing. No, 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 Dwight. I think not. Let's pick you up now. Yeah, that really sucks. I guess I should put a time limit on how long a match can be delayed, shouldn't I? It would be smart of me. I feel like every week I have to think of a new rule to apply because of situations, but at least I'm flexible enough to be able to do so. Let's say a 30-minute late start rule should be in effect. Was that a styptic agent from that Dwight? I think it was. Let's bounce here. Open for the swing. Just had to wipe up stovetop and everything else was clean already. Fair enough. Always good to hear that. That's down Dwight. Ruin's still up, so let's vault down. You have 16 seconds. Alright. You do not camp that pallet, so let's just go back for Dwight then. Imagine that someone might be over here trying to pick him up. Hello, Dwighty boy. Don't mind if I do. And let's put you up on this hook. Go back for that gen immediately, as I imagine they'll try and finish that out underneath me. And it's a sucky situation to be in. Oh, they got ruined. I didn't realize. Well, the good news is, pop. There we are. Hello, Mega. Pull us up. Thank you, Giraffe. I appreciate that, as well as passing along my message. She'll go for the vault out. We will go back around. Bounce landing for looks of things, or potential life. Trying to swing around that. Didn't work out too well. Let's box her in. And let's go for this gen. As we see Dwight going for it, as we speak. I thought he was going to double round that hedge. Hi, Ace. Don't think I didn't notice you. Perfect. Tiring day. I'm going to head off. Have good games. Thank you. I appreciate you. Alright. Ooh, hello, Tinker Proc. Hold on 1 second. Just got another notification. Yeah. I want to clarify. So 30 minutes after match should be started, correct. So at 4:30, 4:30 is the time limit, basically. That is what my judgment's going to be. Because ideally, if they're not able to play within 2 hours, I want to know that in advance. But honestly, with a power outage, as it's kind of sudden and unpredictable, you can't really work around that all too much, can you? Let's take a look at gens. Pop up. So at 4:30 is the cutoff. Or 4:30 CST, rather. To be more accurate. Hello, Megan! Let's pop. And she's on a, relatively speaking, safe pallet. Fine game. Fine game. There we go. I figured that once I had bounced, maybe she would go over. They don't make it, what does it mean for who wins? So, is it the killer side or the survivor side, out of curiosity? If it is the survivor side, I think survivor lost power. I don't want to simply call the match, but if it is survivor side, wait, are you okay? You okay, buddy? I feel like Microsoft Windows 10 is rebooting here. If it's survivor side, theoretically speaking, we could allow them to take a loss on the first one. They're a survivor. Alright, here's what I'm gonna say. The Z-Wall Gaming has an option now. they can take a 56-point loss. Basically, it's as if the killer got a perfect game. And they can move on to their kill rounds and hope that the survivor has the ability to play thereafter. If not, though, they will just take a loss outright. It's purely up to them. So if they think that the power outage might be fixed by their last survivor match, then that would make sense to me. Yes, 4:30 is still the cutoff. So if they want to go or wait until last moment, they can. But then at 4:30, they need to have the decision in place. Do they take the, 56-point loss, or do they just forfeit the match? Because ideally, I want to have that match go, but I understand if that simply can't happen, right? So I'll leave it up to the respective teams. And I'll add a new rule today. Down goes the Meg. And that will be Death Hook for you. Let's hook you back here, as this hook has not been used just yet. We do see 2 survivors back here from looks of things. Not sure who's healing who. Looks like Ace healed Dwight. I did see scratch marks. Not sure which way they went, though. I saw some scratch marks to the right. Was hoping to see blood from the Ace. But doesn't seem to be the case. Some more scratch marks here. Just when I heard someone in the locker. Because bad memory? All good. So, poll is a tie. In that case, we'll leave it up to the fates. Whoever finds Hatch first. But yeah, basically, Z-Wall Gaming can take a 56-point loss for round 1, found Hatch. Or they can forfeit the match by 4:30. Those are their choices. And they need to make that decision within 9 minutes. It sucks. At the end of the day, power outages are catastrophic. That's why we're going to give them that 30-minute timer, as well as an option to take a, complete wipe, basically, on that first round. Which should give CA a quite substantial lead. I think that'd be a 56-point lead at that point, since that's a full killer round, right? I don't know where these survivors are. I mean, I'm just waiting on Tinker, basically, unless they find a key. Speak of the devil, and it's still here. If I can get there, though. Criminy. How goes it, my boy? Well, you're kind of in a dead zone here. I don't really think you get too far. That's down you, and... Now it's up to Dwight if he's able to get to that hatch fast enough. I know where it is. Does he know it too? But yeah, trying to give, I told CA as well, thank you. I appreciate that symmetrical communication. It's important that we do that. And let's fatigue out right here. And looks like we'll be getting the hatch after all. And this will result in 2 wins on the Blight. Oh, Dwighty boy, I see you there. I appreciate the commitment to the execute. Let's fatigue out as we have him in a bit of a corner. As if they any chance emergency member? Unfortunately not. Okay, I'll tell you what. See, I hate doing this just due to the fact that it means bending rules. As much as I would like to say yes, it's one of those things of, could that then happen for someone else? So I'm gonna have to say no on this one. I had to make one exception due to rules not being clear enough before. This one I'm gonna have to say no on. That's why you ideally have backup survivors, of course. Hold on 1 second. Alright, let me do this real quick. Yo, what's up, Goddess? How goes it? I'd wipe. Alright, let me hook you, and then I can jump and do some COTF stuff real quick. Alright. Let me go say hi in Discord. Here I am. Yeah, apologies about that. If I bend the rules here, it can open up a can of worms I'd rather not face. It is unfortunate indeed. Let's see here. Do we lose the killer in the process, or only one? Do they lose a killer? No, since no killer was used. 3k points, that's what it looks like when you get tunneled out. I mean, yeah. Yeah, because you made bad plays. You were on my totem off hook. Am I to ignore? Question mark? I mean, seriously. And I know I'm not allowed to stream game we play tonight, but can I host? Co-host? Or host the stream? Just responding to some messages real quick. Agreed. I feel for you and your team. All right. Well, I think that's everything that I need to take care of there as of right now. Drives, by the way, thank you for the reminder. But yeah, I love how the survivor's like, you told me. I'm like, yeah, because you're on my totem. What else am I supposed to do? Ignore you outright? No, that's not how that works. Just played some COD Zombies, about to play some DBD, got to practice for tomorrow's match. I'm excited to see it. Excited to see it, Goddess. Yeah, I just played in my match today with sample text. That was a whole lot of fun. And with that being said, we don't like being tunneled, use DS, ended. I mean, it's not even just that, but it's like respecting the idea that I, as a killer, now have the new DS nerf, for lack of a better term. If I see you on a totem, if I see you on a gen, if I see you self-carrying, I know you no longer have DS. The reason why DS is a thing is because the killer has to make a choice if they theoretically tunnel someone. Do you pick up and take the DS, or do you leave them slugged or leave them entirely and go for someone else? That is a choice a killer has to make. It's the same way that power struggle is a threat just because it exists in the game. And those are the big factors there, right? So, since I saw him on a totem, I know he doesn't have DS. Of course I'm going to hit you down and then go for you. Why wouldn't I? It would be nonsensical of me not to say the least. So, I don't know. Survivors just don't understand that sometimes. But c'est la vie. Not my job to make the survivors have a fun match. It's my job to, well, kill. It kind of is in the title after all. And that is what I do. To be fair, I'm playing Blight on a freaking god-awful map too. We had all the advantages they needed. With that being said, this year's going to be my last match. I want to end a little bit early so I can take a break before today's Champions of the Fog match, which I'm quite excited for. Seeing Undying Alliance versus Envy should be a good show, at least in my opinion. This is a bit of a big bite. Let me cut that. Ever have one of those moments where, like, you're about to take a bite of food and you're like, maybe this is too big of a bite for me? I feel like Carl would be happy with Bill's name, as that's not Dead by Daylight, sorry, Attack on Titan reference. So that is Levi Ackerman, one of the characters in Attack on Titan. And simple language for the hydrate. I appreciate it. I'll hydrate right after this bite of food. (6 p.m. CST in an hour and 30 minutes. Also, Vivid, if you haven't already, which I think you have, make sure to check out the schedule channel to let me know when you're available to co-host. I'll make sure to get you on next week if you are available. That, and also I have one more Kiyosaki as well. Don't think they would be back in time for last game. Oh, that really sucks. Well, that is unfortunate. I feel for them, I really do. I mean, at the end of the day, I created new rules on the fly to try and help out, but not much can be done there. Each full match is roughly an hour and 30 minutes. That extra 30 minutes is just in case it goes longer. It was so close to happening to us too. Wait, oh damn, I guess that's true, yeah, with Hammy. Got our VC at 4 p.m., yeah. So I'm going to have to add some new rules about, like, if an instance a cat... At the same time, do I want to make that a rule? Because ideally I want 2 hours advance notice on people not being able to make a match. At the same time, in the instance of a catastrophic situation like power outage or a natural disaster, do I want to be able to make a, you know, clause that says, in instances happens. But if I make it an official rule, could that rule be abused? The answer is yes. Theoretically speaking, you know, people could say, oh, well, this person's power went out when it didn't. That's rough. That's a hard decision right there. Like, I want to assume the best, obviously, in people, that they wouldn't do something like that. But at the same time, I have to also think of the worst case scenario. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Superman. That really does suck. Like I said, I was creating some rules on the fly there to help you guys out and hopefully allow you guys to play out the match. But I understand taking the loss. There's another survivor up here. I think it's a Claude. But I'll have to think about whether or not I want to make that a full rule, potentially. There we are. Tap. How's it going? You vault? You do. And let's go out. Laptop updated DVD, but said 50 minutes. Ew, yeah. That's a rough one. I mean, theoretically speaking, could, you know, that update be finished before that last match? Theoretically. Yeah, no, the quick downs are good. Being able to hit that, Jake through the window was great, and then to have the tap there as well was amazing. Steam downtime is a lie. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It depends on a few different factors, of course, but you are not wrong in the slightest. Let's see, a noise notification over there. What was that? Was that a pallet drop? Was it a heal skill check miss? Heal skill check miss, I bet you know. Yeah, this map is god-awful to play, I will say. But at least we made distance on him. Let's chase Bill out. We'll get a hit here. Power's not up yet, but I don't know if I'm gonna need it. Oh, he's going upstairs. That's lovely. I don't know why people go upstairs. It really is just such a bad location for any survivor to go at. You can go for this. Ooh, nice stuff. Maybe a spine chill there? He goes round. Let's box him in. And there goes Ruin, which means we're left to pop. Surprising, go for the pallet, goes for the one on the left. You'll drop early. You'll vault, swing, and down. And let's hook up. So yeah, out of curiosity, Superman, just wanting your feedback in real time if you're still here. I'll DM you if you aren't. What are your thoughts on that rule? In the case of a catastrophic situation, allowing for a 30-minute, reprieve, basically. As well as the option to, take a full loss, for lack of a better term. Do you think that is a worthwhile option, or do you think that that's too much or too little? I hear you. Who is this? Oh, it's Jake. Brilliant. And I was debating whether or not I should rush there. I think I may have gave him a little bit more distance than I'd like. Perfect. And let's pick up. I feel like I heard footsteps behind me, suggesting maybe someone prepping for the unhook. Don't see anyone in the area that I would have thought they'd be at. So maybe not. Let's look around. As scheduling would be fair if the roster is locked. The problem is 6 members and some teams have 10. Yeah, so all teams only have a max of 10. I can promise you that one. 6 members. Yeah, the reschedule's hard because it's trying to get everyone into, or, have everyone's timeline up. Basically, the reason why all these matches are scheduled the way they are is because this is everyone's availability. So rescheduling could be to, theoretically speaking, next week, but then that means you guys might have to play 2 matches back to back. And that's a lot of Dead by Daylight. That's BS, I didn't get that grab. Alright, let's forgo the Claw and instead go for this. That's 3 Tinker procs. Holy hell, damn basket. I don't even know the timing on this gen anymore. I'm probably going to lose it before I can get here. There's Bill. We're spared 11 members. They did, but I told them that they had to remove one. I don't know if they did. So I'll talk to them if that's the case, and they haven't. That should not be the case, where they have 11 members. But I did mention that they had to remove 1 player from the roster. They may have forgotten to do so. To be fair, there were very last-minute additions, so I can understand some logistical things being a tad bit off. Hi there, Tap. No pallet's done on me. It's hard to see when rules are being enforced sometimes. No, that's fair. The biggest thing is, the rules are being enforced, but obviously in that situation it's a bit harder to see. I'll make sure that they update the roster accordingly. Yeah, ideally, so far, the only situation where rules have been bent is when rules have not been clear enough for people to know what the rules are, in which case I'll take the responsibility on that one for, having to change the rules in the moment. This sucks even more as we wanted to play last week too, I know. Yeah, especially if that situation, that really does suck. Let me see what I can do with Cerebral Assassins and see if they're able to reschedule at a reasonable time. If they are, then I'll let them make that decision. Of course, if they aren't, then I'm obviously not going to force them to reschedule. Maybe for Season 1. Trying to think what we could do. Drop this pallet bill. You know you want to. Oh, there we go. Maybe for Season 1, I could look into reschedule block times to where basically if an instance a match doesn't happen due to one reason or another, that it can be rescheduled for that reason. That'd be my only thought. So here's a question for you. Would you guys be available, Z-Wall Gaming be available at 6 p.m.? It would be a match that wouldn't be streamed, of course. Drop a chick. Play twice a week to make up a Dying Lands game? I did. You're not wrong. Drop it! Yep. There we go. Perfect. So that's true. So if you guys are up for that... Yeah, because I offered that option to them and they're fine with rescheduling, theoretically speaking. Let me ask Cerebral Assassin and see if that's possible. See if they're up to do that. It will be up to them, though. It is not up by 6 p.m. We still can't play. True. So yeah, let me see if Cerebral Assassins is okay with doing a reschedule. And I'll let them make that final decision, of course. So we'll go from there. I'll message them after this match, which is my last one of the day. Unfortunately, I don't think Tap is dead. Otherwise, I'd be able to simply message right now. So I'll talk to D in the Cerebral Assassins captains and go from there. He is dead. Perfect. Well, in that case, this will be the end of the match. I guess I could just let Claude get her patch then. Gives me time to do other things. As in, like, host stream. Yep, that's fine. Let me check Cerebral Assassins at one guy D, QQ. Would you be willing to reschedule a match against for next week? If not, that is acceptable and you will receive the win. Yeah, it's going to be a case-by-case basis on these type of scenarios. So I'm asking D right now, Superman, and seeing what they say. Going from there. Yeah, exactly. It's in their hands, I'd say, on what they want to do. I think that's only fair in the situation. How has Claude not found this hatch already? For the love of God, Claudette. What the fresh hell are you doing? I literally took enough time to message people on Discord, and you still somehow did not manage to find it. Claude, he dies now. Alright. Well, that will be that. To be fair, she never did take hook states for her team. And that does say a lot. Because if she did, then they may have been able to do a little bit more damage than they had. But that will be the match, and our third win in a row for the Blight. Not too shabby. Might as well get some additional deviousness points. But GG, well played to these survivors. Looks like Dick Punch Dude may have been watching the stream. Hi, Dick Punch Dude. Hope you're doing well. And that results in a 4K on the Blight. Alright, guys. Well, on that note, I will be ending the stream here, as I do need to rest up for my stream at 6 p.m. CST. Let me just double check what you said. Cerebral Assassins doesn't want to play twice on Saturday. We could work out a weekday. True, true. I did not specify a weekend, so that is possible. I just need to schedule a ref in that case. So I'll see what they say. I have not gotten a response yet, I don't think. So with that being said, I think D might be streaming. I'll probably stop into his channel and let him know. But Superman, thank you much for the follow. I do appreciate it. I'll let you know what they respond with, and if an instance they say no, I'll let you know. If they say yes, then I'll try and coordinate with both of you to try and get a match going. But that being said, guys, as always, if you did enjoy the show, make sure to hit that follow button. If you haven't already, though, check out our Extra Life campaign. We're trying to help kill kids at Sanford Children's Hospital here in Fargo, North Dakota. And before I do go, we are going to go raid that one guy D. As always, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST. Bye-bye!